sorry. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to another Bay of Ford stream. That's right, this is number 62. I didn't think I'd get this far, but I enjoyed doing it anyway. Well, of course, probably some of you, if you're new, whether watching now or in the future, in the future. Um, no, that's not what I do. What the Pay It Forward stream is where um, I go to the Rumble side. Hold on, I get there first. I go to the Rumble side, and I go to the uh, all live stream thing, not like just gaming or just this or that or whatever, but um, mostly just different live streams going on at the same time. So what I do is I kind of go around, I kind of spread a little love, I do all this sort of stuff, and I just you know go around saying hello. And of course, like I said yesterday and earlier today, my guest will be joining me at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we won't be spending. We'll probably be spending at least some hours worth of doing this, and then we'll go into my guest, and then we'll go from there. So come along and ride with me as we go on this incredible journey of seeing what's on the other side of Rumble. Let me get to this. Boom. All right. Well, the rules are simple. One is, oh, hey, Baked Potato, how are you? Nice to see you, Baked Potato. And for those who don't know, Baked Potato was from last Pay It Forward stream, which wasn't last week. I think it was the week before. And so glad to see you. But what happens is, one, I don't do 24-hour streams, 24/7 streams, but there is one exception I do make because I've had them on as guests. And there's also another one too, but I really it's just one, and I'll point that out once we get there. Um, and 24/7 streams usually include music, again, which the one I'll point out is, and also nature ones as well, and a bunch of other stuff. There's not a whole lot of, but there's some mischief making and people who are not very honest in what the 24/7 stream is. Some people don't actually label their streams 24/7, but we'll go through it together. So no support. Well, thank you, kind young lady. I hope your whatever's going on goes well. 24/7 streams a gay. Well, you know what? Hey, YouTube has a lot of it, so don't go throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And music is also gay. Well, uh, don't go near Amish's streams, whatever you do. There's a lot of people who use AI music to get around YouTube copyright. So, well, I guess you're calling them gay too. But anyway, let's get this started. Um, I am going to start with the K-Man right here. There's only 3, but the K-Man I've had on before. Pretty cool guys. I don't know if it would just low. I've already turn on. Starting soon? Oh, come on! Come on! Calling all of them gay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I see ya. Oh man, come on, K-Man, be live. Well, we're at the last page anyway. We're just gonna see. Well, let's go with Hat Team. I've had Hat Team on before. Loading stream. Really? God dang it. Come on, guys. Trying to stop by your stream and you guys aren't even doing anything. Well, let's stop by hers. I've been by hers before. She's very lovely. She makes crafts. So let's all listen in on Owner.
Because I put these together this afternoon and went, oh, okay. So we have this, and then for our greeting, we want one of these, and so we make
do a little of that, and then there we go. I try to repost and do all that stuff. No, like glad to support, and then
thumbs up and a share, and the leaf. Okay, this is what we need. So we'll go ahead and do our stamping, and I'm going to open this up. There we go. And oh, hello, fellow Rumbler. Well, thank you. I am having a great day, and I'm so glad you popped in to say hello. I appreciate that.
Yeah, see, look at that.
I'm getting more and more views on Rumble, so it's fantastic.
You hear
All
that?
right,
Look
so
at that.
this is
Found the
to a
internet
wonderful
almost.
friend.
My
And the
goodness.
stamps that always
Right?
come in this, they will fit on the block that you get with your first Paper Pumpkin subscription. There we go, and they're always photopolymer.
But she is a
and it
very,
makes it easy
she's
to
a very
see where you're
a lovely
stamping.
lady.
So let's go ahead.
But
and
basically,
get
her
this in
account
here.
name is
And of
owner,
course, when you're done, not only do you
and she
have
does
a
a whole
nice
bunch of stuff
selection
like
of
cards.
ink
Oops, sorry.
spots,
She does
got
like
a nice selection of
cards
stamp
and
sets.
imprints and all sorts of
And
stuff.
several of our kits come with stamp sets too.
Scissors that makes the ribbon look like a curly fry.
Right.
Possibly.
Well, thank you again.
She's
And
not
I
with.
do the cards. I've told
She's
you
not
before, I use it
without some
for
creativity, as the kids would
fundraiser for
say.
youth camp scholarships. And I had suggested, because sometimes the greeting,
But yeah, it's always nice to stop by once in a while. Because I mean, look at that. That's pretty good. She makes it all herself.
save
Well, maybe
one of
not all
their
herself.
card
I'm sure the
boxes
tools she buys,
and
but
keep
still.
all their stamp sets in there because
And that's
they
her
don't
right
take
there.
that
She
much
must be
room. They're
using StreamYard.
photopolymer, and bring
The
them
good
to
stuff.
our card classes, so they could probably always find one that would be the appropriate sentiment that they want, that would fit the label.
The sentiment.
And so
All right. Well, she's noticed us and seen us.
Right,
We're
so
going
our
up.
stamping
But she's
is
making
done.
a
Stamp right on here, and look at that
card.
detail that we have.
Very creative.
And then
but we got other people to go
it's
to.
the adhesive.
All right.
Let's go ahead. And I like
To
using my
spread the love
pick tool.
to others.
And I've got everything listed under the video that I'm using in
Have
addition to
a
the Paper
great
Pumpkin
day.
kit. All right, so our directions.
And enjoy.
If you haven't seen me do a kit before, when it's a solid circle, that's mini glue dots. When it's an open, well, it's actually an octagon, but
there we go.
To me, it looks like a circle. Those are stamped.
Did she make the paper though? Okay, maybe not the paper.
3, so we will comply.
Viz and skibbity now.
There we go. So you know what? I have a customer that for a good while she did
Viz and skibbity. She has an Apple Watch though.
Yeah, go spread the love. Thank you.
You're welcome. She has a nice office though, I'll tell you that.
2 paper pumpkin.
But anyway, that is how we begin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get bigger. The kids would ask if she's got that gat. God dang it, Lord of the Ree. Man, oh man, goodness sake. All right, well, here we're on another page. We're going to look at what people are talking about and all this stuff. Live with Restream. Some people use Restream. Some people use StreamYards. At the end of the day, multi-streaming is going to be the new thing going forward. Because honestly, if you're not multi-streaming, she seems like, yeah, she's a nice lady. I think she's a nice lady. You don't have to think so, but I think she's a nice lady. But yeah, many people are now multi-streaming to Rumble, which is pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, there's a dog click on the dog. There's a dog click on the dog. What? There's a dog. The monkey. Oh, there's a dog. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, all right. I'll do that one just because you asked. But I think this may be a
garbage that it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, so he's using Rumble Studio.
Lying or she's just incompetent.
Oh, okay.
And an imbecile. That said, think about what she just said to you and said to Katie.
But he's using Rumble Studio, so that's
rather
something.
have the unelected, unaccountable, nameless, faceless, anonymous
the dog was a lie.
That were making decisions on behalf of Joe Biden under his name and
like
utilizing his auto pen. Then she would have a constitutionally elected and accountable president of the United States.
He got baited.
She said, "Listen, hey, we were getting stuff done with Mass."
True, but we're here. We're already here.
He wasn't doing it, but the people he had around him. What does that mean? The people. Name them. Who do you mean exactly? It's the auto pen. And that's what she would rather. I mean, this is how totalitarians talk and think.
He looks like he's using StreamYard through Rumble Studio.
A completely incapacitated president, but we're really getting a whole lot done now.
Rude
Stuff that
indeed.
we want done.
That dog.
Our agenda.
Wish.com, Jimmy Dora.
And if they don't like what
I don't even know who Jimmy Dora is.
There's nobody to be held accountable for it.
But he's using StreamYard through Rumble Studio, because that's what it looks like.
Oh, good takedown all the way around. I think it was.
So it wasn't him. It was him.
Well deserved, especially because
he's got proton too.
Possibly look at Joe Biden and say, "Yeah, we want that."
We'll give him to like 25.
So good for him. Anyway. Next up, we have a couple of clips.
The dog was a lie. The person on the front was a lie. It's a little too much lying here. We'll give him till the 25 minute 30 second mark.
I think it was featured on here before, talking about why prices.
Because I don't think he can see us. Because I think he might be using something else. The show or join via Rumble Studios. Well, we can't.
Going to be where they are.
He could have put that in.
Inflation is over, but if you feel like prices still are not falling, you are not alone.
He could have put like the link in the chat or something, but he didn't even do that. I mean, that would have been easier than putting it so people have to type.
It's actually below the Fed's target of 2%.
Whatever that is. All right. Well, we stayed long enough. He's a real person, but he's watching other people's stuff. Regardless, we're gonna move on to the next stage. The next stage. Gonna I think is a lie. Altogether tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. Baked potato saying tomfoolery. That'll be the day, I say. That'll be the day. This guy is like your base uncle that sends you memes he saw on Facebook. Put that off. Hey, I made a Velociraptor one, okay? All right? Velociraptor is awesome. All right, let's pick one that's not 24/7 style looking. Someone's playing Death Stranding. There's a frog. A LaFrog. We'll stop it here. Let's see if this person's real or not. Oh, why is it? Does this person have no sound? They don't even have their sound on. Don't. You're muted. We can't hear your, because they're playing Lego. Tis the day, my friend. Yes, indeed. Vision delay, sir. Top and hat. Yep. You're muted. I can't hear them. So either they don't have their sound on, or they're using something where there's no sound coming through, which doesn't help. So unfortunately, a lot of winter chicken dinners today. Well, this one's not going to be because I can't hear them. I can't hear them all. There's no sound going on at all. I don't know if they'll see it or not. But doing some quests on Fortnite. Yeah, we can't hear them. VTubers are gay. Well, now you're just telling everyone's gay. All right. We're going to back up. We're going to try to find someone else because I can't hear them. No Heary, no Shaky. You know what? Let's do the Death Stranding one. I want to see if that's a real person or not. Oh! Holy crap. A little loud for my taste. Little loud for my taste.
Closer I get to it.
But Death Stranding 2 is coming out soon, so there's that.
Wow.
It's only been 3 hours too. I'm not a huge fan of Death Stranding, but I do like it a bit.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until the...
All weapons will be locked.
Thank you.
Nope. Oh, he's eating something.
I've been expecting you. You are my
Too much
lifeline.
sound. I put it, turned it down.
To get this far thanks
Walking
to
simulator.
borders.
Yeah.
And you
I've heard
don't
that one
ask for
before.
anything in return. You have my gratitude.
We'll give him till the 6-minute 30-second mark. And if he doesn't see us, oh well.
Wow,
Life
this
goes
is
on.
great.
Life goes
Excellent
on.
job. Thank
It's
you.
all new. Someone's gonna lose out because they didn't see, but that's alright. 7% though, that's rough. Awesome. What? I always like getting that connection level up to 5, but I haven't played it in ages.
Okay.
6-minute 30
So you're
seconds.
here on behalf of Fragile Express.
What in the world is he
Tell
eating?
me who put
What?
the terrorists behind
That's one of the things I
When
don't get is
Fragile, the
if
daughter of the
you're
founder, started
hungry,
associating
don't eat while you're
with
on
other
camera.
careers,
I mean, come on.
things started getting scary
I
around
just
here.
I just don't need to hear you
Rumors say that she caused
all that
the
stuff.
explosion at Middle Knot
Oh well.
City.
We
And
stopped
there's
by, we said hello. I don't need to listen to him chew his food. What if you're stream someone watching you watching your stream while they stream you watching their. Actually, that did happen once. But I didn't stay long because I had other people to go to. So yeah. All right, next page. All right. So we learned is if you don't have your sound on, it's very hard to hear you, and it's very hard to just say hello. It's very hard to say hello. Of course, you get like this stuff. Like it not always say 24/7, but these are 24/7. That hurt my head. Yeah, it's like the Old Spice commercial. Look back at me. No, back at you. No, back at me. No, back at you. I have a cactus in my hand. Now look back at you. Back at me. We're gonna go here. See if it's a real person or not. Oh, it is. About 4 hours. That's not too bad. Usually there are ones that are worse time. Viewer levels. Must be multi-platforming. Nope. Oh man. There we go.
Welcome in Daramouthe on Rumble. Thank you for the $2 donut. I appreciate that greatly. We don't get many chatters on Rumble, but thank you very much. Welcome on in.
So you must be multi-streaming.
Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, he says he doesn't get much chatters. Why don't you go bother him for a little bit? There you go. Go bother him for a little bit.
I know, Bam, on Rumble. Yeah, like I think we've had like 2 chatters, maybe 3 ever on Rumble. So thank you, Daramouthe. I appreciate that very much.
No, it's
Okay, can we do this better? Yes, thank you very much, Daramouthe. I appreciate that.
They call him.
Okay,
No.
Better.
No. Wrong. You're wrong.
Okay. Now this is just fast. Just go really fast. That might have been too slow.
No politics. English only, please. All right. Well, he's got
not
some.
Not quite too slow. Wow. I'm really glad that there was a ceiling right there. Okay, we're close to a checkpoint. Close to a checkpoint.
He said it's close to a checkpoint.
We don't get any more power-ups.
No more power-ups?
Daramouthe, got it.
There we go.
Daramouthe. Or Dara for short. No problem. Again, thank you, and welcome on in.
Look at that baked potato coming by.
We do not get many don't get many people on Rumble.
Well, there you go. Looks like he'll get some today.
Okay.
Speak Greek, only English. Well, there you go. Oh, look at that.
I don't even want to kill these guys. I just want to.
He doesn't want to get rid of the magic.
Get over. These guys do not have anything of value on them.
Uh-oh. I've never played the Mario Maker game.
There we go. Okay.
Woo.
All right, making progress.
Go. Uh-oh, he's got a... Oh, man, that's rough. Let's...
What is down here? Like, what is down below? There's just nothing down below there. Okay. Welcome BKD on Rumble as well. Good to see y'all. Good to see both of you. Again, yeah. No, we do not usually get Rumble chatters. Good to have y'all here.
You can call her baked potato. She just likes to spell with numbers. She just likes to spell with numbers.
Well, thank you again, Daramouthe, for the $3. I appreciate that very much.
For me, and that's saying something.
Unexpected. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very unexpected.
Too autistic for even the man himself? Wow, Lord of the Ree. You're really showing your age. You can call her baked potato.
She call her baked potato. Likes to spell with numbers. Baked potato, yes. I see it. Baked potato and Dara.
Oh, man, that's too funny. All right. Others, be well and have a great rest of your
flower.
Or just tater. I'm a potato, okay?
Okay, we got another flower.
I know. He speaks the numbers. Oh, I can't sit there too long. Whoa, okay, that's a little too much for my taste.
Oh, I didn't mean to grab that flower. I meant to skip it.
He must be using StreamYard though, because he has a little thing in the side.
Okay, that's fine. We have another one coming up here.
Boo. Uh-oh. Lead speak.
Kind of a creative boss battle. I'll give the creator that.
Too creative. Now he's saying it's too creative. No spamming text redemptions or anything else. Oh my goodness, he is strict. That's okay. I don't use any of that stuff either. But we have said he's busy, so we've said our stuff. Oh. So we are out of here. All right, on to page 26. La-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Let's see. What do we got? We got a bunch of new stuff. Ugh. New stuff. Monkeying around. There you go. Oh goodness. 24/7. Nope. Mila Rubio. Ay. Want to talk horror movies and chill? We'll see if this is a real person or not first.
He is just laughing his ass off.
Oh yeah, it's a real person.
He is having the best time. I'm like,
hey, Arwen's on here.
For weeks.
Yeah.
It just jacked me up.
Sci-fi horror.
Oops, nope, I don't want to do that. That's not the right
terrifying.
thing.
Oh yeah.
In some ways, on a higher level than just, I mean, yeah, Friday the 13th. I get it. The slasher movies have their place. I'm not big into all slashers as a genre, but I do have my certain movies that
I've had
that
R1 on
I
before.
enjoy.
She's lovely.
No,
But
Jester.
yes,
Bad Jester.
sci-fi horror.
Bad.
Yeah, what cosmic
Bad Jester.
horror? I think it's more of like a cosmic horror type thing, like H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Lovecraft.
The Dark Ones and Cthulhu.
I've never
Hey!
and stuff like that.
Is it Daramouthe or Daramouthe? He's on Rumble. Says, "Hey, Arwen."
Oh,
And he
Dara! Hey,
Gave a
how
$2
are you?
Rumble rant. Hello, fellow Rumbler. Hope you're having a great day and an even better weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dara. Yeah, Dara's awesome. He really is. He's great. Good to see you tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it
y'all.
was. The best part of that movie is when that dude fell off the back and hit the prop.
Ooh, that was. And see, really, that's all why we watched it.
best
We
part
all
of the
watched it to see how they did the shipwreck.
She's been on the show
That
before.
was the main thing. The love story was just whatever, padding.
Goodness.
But I would have enjoyed it more without it. I don't know. When things are kind of forced, it irritates me. It's like you will fall in love with this couple. You will watch this, and then you'll see the boat ship, the ship sink. It's like, just get to the good bit.
And you'll hate her because he died because she wouldn't let him on the piece of wood.
I'll never let go, Jack. Oh, well, fuck it. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Personally, I never saw the point in going to see a movie where I already know before they've even made the movie that the ship is going to sink at the end.
Yeah.
Why would I bother?
Because they're all just going to die.
Exactly. Most
It's
of the
like
people
watching
die.
Andor in the Rogue One. They're all going to die. It's great.
And yeah, I appreciate the whole the one got away thing, but I'm like, all right, bitch, you survived this horrific thing. You know, you tuck a little piece of him in your heart, fine. But then you meet a man, you fall in love, and you have kids, you have grandkids, you have great grandkids, and at the end, you're thinking about him. Where's your husband? She made a
Probably
life
let
for
him go,
herself.
too.
But she did die warm in her bed, which
Aw.
was very sweet.
Aw. Sad face.
It
Oh,
was.
thank you. She
Sweet.
said, doing well, Missy. Didn't know you'd be here. And another $3 Rumble rent. Thank you so much. Just a little extra for the nice lady you have on screen.
Oh, Dara, that's sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here every Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday on Rumble and YouTube. We just kind of kick back. It's cheers.
Yeah,
It's
pretty much. I
cheers.
mean, we actually have a subject that we're talking about before the 10-minute mark we started.
Very
talking
gay.
About.
Lord of the Ree.
Maybe
Caller of the
just after.
gays.
That's a record for us.
All right,
Usually,
I have one.
We don't touch the subject at all.
I'm amazed that we're still mostly on topic 20 minutes later. That's shocking to me.
It is.
Hey!
Loki!
Hey, look.
Well, one of my favorite movies of all time, as a matter of fact, I was watching the cheesy ass dance scene where, all of a sudden she's spinning around and then her hair is all fixed and her clips are gone. I laughed my ass off. But y'all is the original Fright Night. Chris Anderson, Roddy McDowell. That is a staple. Yearly, I watch that shit all the time. I love it. The remake was okay. They made it more serious. They made it more. I'm like, no, give me that 80s cheese horror Fright Night.
Simp.
Can't beat it.
Sure. Lord of the Ree. Sure.
So good.
It was very good. All right. Dara says, all right, off to spread love to others. Be well, everyone, and see you next time, Marlon.
Mwah,
Thank
bye,
you, Dara.
Dara. Oh, Steven's streaming
Later.
tonight. Go give him a hey. He's streaming tonight. Tell him I sent you.
Go give him a hey.
Go give
I
him a
will
hey.
try.
Shut up, Daryl.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. On to the next page. Page 25. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to be much of a page. Much of a page. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got here. Not much of anything. Mostly looks like 24/7 stuff. Oh, joy. All right. Best movie of all time. Objectively, it seems more like personal, really. I've watched it, but not a fan of it. Let's see. Democrat. It's like two of the same thing right there. All right. 23. Okay. So the one I said that I I stop by sometimes is the Great Underground. I've had them on before, husband and wife in Las Vegas. They're trying to do big indie underground sort of thing with other people. So they're really great people, and I've had them on before, but they do a 24/7 indie music sort of thing. So regardless of what anyone says, I'll always have them back, and I enjoyed having them on. So there's that. All right. Well, there's not much on here, so we're just gonna go elsewhere. Page 22. Yafune I've had on before in the past. Let's see. We got Mike, a 24/7 live stream at Little Peep Radio. Little Peep. He's got a little peep. But we'll The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past randomizer mod. Ooh. Okay, that's something to look at.
To see you, bro. Good to see you.
Oh.
You're doing excellent. Yeah, so I did play around with this dungeon.
I wonder what that means, like item randomizer.
That obviously you're supposed to explore when you get to the
So
dark
no,
realm. And I did.
You can. They are on Twitter X, so
it's
they're under at
see if I
DR8 Underground.
can,
So
do it with ease.
if you can find them there, you'll be fine. Goodness.
I think I got pretty lucky when I first did it, but see, I had to play around with this. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate it's like this. And you'll see. Oh well, obviously, I'm gonna show you guys the items that are hidden in this map. Give me 1 second here. Yo, Daramouthe. Actually, I forgot how to pronounce your name. I don't know if it's Daramouthe or Daramouthe. Thank you for that $2 dono over on Rumble. Hello, fellow Rumble. Hope you are having a great day and an even better weekend. Have fun. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. What's up, Del? How are you, bro? I just bought you dinner tonight.
Maybe means the dungeons are procedurally
actually, what I
generated.
should be saying, you're welcome.
I didn't know that.
Of course I did, Del.
It's pretty awesome. It's a mod, though, but I mean, it's still pretty awesome.
Why, of course I did.
Let's see if he sees. Beep.
Oh, so this is Daramouthe without... Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Daramouthe now. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that donut, bro. Much appreciated. Governor? That is fun. Okay, hold on. So I'm supposed to go to that section where they have all of like the rupees.
I only wanted to know.
No, it's not here. Let's go here. By the way, I don't even think I'm gonna be able to. Well, actually, maybe I can. I don't know. We'll see.
Be life, no games. Yeah, I guess they just have to be careful of not breaking them. Because obviously, Nintendo's out there trying to crack down on emulators and stuff. Daramouthe got me. Careful, your husband may not like that.
They're so freaking annoying.
If it's no.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, all right.
Mission failed. Let's try again.
Spread the love to others. Be well. And see you around.
Oh, thank you, Dara. Yeah, hope you're doing excellent as well, bro. Appreciate you. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately, the one thing that is wrecking my life right now is this freaking mod.
Well, then
you know what I'm gonna do?
Well, yeah, that's they say it's their stuff, so
I don't want to waste my my fairy.
Gotta deal with it, I guess.
Oh, thank you, Dar. Appreciate you.
Oh, that didn't do anything.
Have yourself a good one.
Okay. Off to the next page. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Off to the next page. Off to the next page. Off to the next page. What? I absolutely love Nintendo games, but I do some really dumb stuff. Well, when you're a multi-million-dollar company, I mean, or billion. I don't know if they are a billion yet. Maybe they are a billion company. When you're a well-known company and you have a lot of exclusive stuff, you're gonna protect your dividends, even if it gets ridiculous. But free, what is it? Fair use does not exist in Japan, so there's that too. Let's see who hustling homes. Word. Win with Andrew. All right, Andrew. What you about?
Point.
Oh, he must be playing the that Master Chef thing or whatever. Well, I understand. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm trucking it. Oh, he's eating too? Come on! Why are some of these people eating on camera? Gosh dang it. They eat on camera. It should be an automatic fail. Like you're
That was a
out.
sink you put in, right?
You're out!
No, I was just making sure.
We'll give him till
Are you going
the 45, 30-second mark. Okay. Sun goal. What does it say? Oh, sub goal. I thought it said sun goal. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, eating food on camera. Good lord. Can people not eat food on camera? I don't have to see what you're chewing in your mouth. Like, if you want to eat off camera. Put a little standby thing that's we'll get into it after I get out of here. But he isn't checking. He's most likely just multi-streaming, which means they're not going to see.
Just one more.
Rumble doesn't do themselves any favors either when they're not, when other places aren't really working with them for API stuff. But anyway, it's past the point. We've said hello. We've done our part. Arrivederci. 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 No, I just... This is what gets me about the whole ordeal. Is like, if you're gonna do your stuff on stream, don't be. I don't care if you smoke. That's fine. Maybe you drink something. That's fine. But if you're gonna start eating on camera, and after you go and all that stuff, and some people are fine about it. You know, they're okay. Like keep their mouth closed. But some people can't. They can't control themselves. And you just and it's just like, I don't need to hear you eat. That's what some people sound like when they eat. It's like I hear you smacking your and it's just like, can we stop with that? Can we stop with eating on camera for once? I get you're hungry, but do it before the stream, or yeah, there's definitely like gross noise. Like I don't need to see. I don't. You don't want me on your stream? That's great. I'll just leave. I don't need to hear you eat and chew your food that you should have already eaten beforehand, or do it after. Like you're not starving to death. My goodness. Then some people sound like they're starving to death. They ain't starving to death. She's like, what? Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that's a bit exaggerated, but still, it gets annoying. Yeah. Gets real annoying. We have to hear you eat. That should be a tagline. I go through the streams, and it gets real annoying when I hear you eat. And I bet you someone's gonna be out there like, you know what? I'm gonna make it so bad that if he stops by my stream, he'll leave, and I'll be the winner. I'm like, you don't get anything though. So I don't know what you mean by winning. Some people, man. Oh, a little Bloodborne. Mr. and Mrs. Paladin.
It's this way.
Oh, we got 2 people playing. Oh my. Yes, let's go for this. Let's see how they do. They're playing Bloodborne. I've never played Bloodborne. And they're using Rumble Studio. Well, how about that? Although Rumble Studio still needs some Still needs some work. Only the direct RTMP is getting some work, but the other stuff, not
Hope you are having a great day and an even better weekend.
There we go.
Have fun.
They heard us.
All right. Well, I'll be back
Daramouthe.
sometime. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks for the
Enjoy
rant,
your
bud.
evening.
Bye, Jungle.
Catch you later, Jungle.
Thanks for chatting.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Moose or...
And welcome in, Daramouthe.
Oh, yeah.
Daramouthe,
have you been in here before? I feel like I've seen you before.
I don't think so.
Backslash.
That was an accident. Bloodborne is great. Yeah. I think they heard.
Just for that, it deserves a follow. There you go, bud.
Oh, thank you.
Backslash.
It was an accident.
I don't think so.
Oh, it is.
Fine. Here.
No, did I go the wrong way?
There you go. Go and say hello if you want.
I honestly
Couples
can't
streaming
remember. This
together
place is so
makes you feel
labyrinthine.
uneasy at a time. They're gonna do some. Yeah. I'm sure of that
It was an
regard.
It was an accident.
Oh, the backslash.
Oh, the backslash. It was like an accident. You gave me money for an accident?
No. To stop by.
Mangy dog.
Hi, dog.
Happy birthday.
dog,
Oh, Miss Paladin.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Dog, get a dog, get a dog.
You can get up. Here.
Oh, there's a ladder?
Apparently.
Oopsie.
We just jumped down.
Yes, we did.
There we go.
Over the river and through the woods.
Yes.
You want the left.
Uh-oh. Got some splaining to
There's
do.
a platform halfway. Okay, just nothing.
But there's nothing
Those eating AM make my eyes switch.
Hi. That
Wasn't
guy's gonna climb up at you though.
wasn't
Peeking?
an eating ASMR
yeah,
either.
but I don't feel like it.
Thank you, Daramouthe. What am I? Big 3'6"?
We'll do gifted
think
sub.
so. I think
Just
those are
cause.
all
Just cause it's her birthday.
And he's not coming up. He's just standing at the bottom waiting to light you on fire.
Oh, look at that. I don't think it'll say
Ooh, now
the
they're fighting
gifted
each
sub.
other. What the heck?
Get me.
I've never played Bloodborne. I've tried Elden Ring, not a chance.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck.
Ah, they've got you cornered.
I can't even
No.
fucking hit him. There we go.
Get out of my way.
Yes.
Let's see if they see it or not. I don't think they
Get
will
that
because it's
stuff.
not coming up on their thing.
I feel good.
Na. Sorry,
But not
late,
really.
late on the uptake. There.
There we go. How long does it take before it gets there? Show up on screen. Show up on screen. Show it. Show it.
It's up there.
That's up with Cthulhu.
Yeah. Well. Motto.
Oh, thank you. You're now added. We're doing a drawing actually, so you're added to be a winner.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is the other banner I usually run, but since it's her birthday, we won't run it at the moment.
Ah, that's all right.
There we go.
Gift card. Ooh, look at that.
Got entered to a $25 gift card. Xbox gift
And
card.
they're on Rumble and
If you don't
Twitch.
use a Xbox gift card, I can do something else. But right now, you are the only one entered, so. I've had that thing up there for 2 months, and I haven't gotten any takers, and you didn't even know.
Yeah, it's true.
Know what that means? It means you're just a good guy. What? How is there something over here that I have not found yet?
I have no idea because we've been up and down the street like 5 times.
Right.
I go up and down
church
the
garb.
street.
Here's the church garb I needed.
I need to find. Where is it?
Didn't
at?
have to buy from what's his butt buy what's his butt's clothes anyway.
That's right.
What? Where is it?
True.
What kind of games do you play, Daramouthe?
Hold on.
If I'm speaking too loudly, I apologize. I feel like I have to talk louder because I'm not close to the mic.
And we have an AC on in the background, so it's very loud.
I do what I can.
You have the delay going.
No, you and I get so excited and we start throwing a billion questions at them.
Oops, I don't.
I kind of wonder if they're clergymen. With the bell and the hat.
Night watchman or something.
I gotta explain to him games. Between my full time job and my show, there isn't much time for anything else. But I enjoy what I do.
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
There we go.
I thought I had it found. No, I did.
Maybe, but it's also Rumble
It's
Studio
up through
2.
here, I think.
They said they were working on stability on the platform, and it's not there yet.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
He's still
I don't
there.
have much time for games. Between my full-time job and my show, there isn't much time for anything else. But I enjoy what I do.
What is your show? I saw your page, but I didn't really look at what everything was.
I do
Trying not to die.
a free flowing
yeah, like a
conversational show talking with various
cast or something you do
people about whatever.
That should not be the right one. It's doing something.
With various people about whatever.
No.
Apparently that was not the password.
That was not the password. Well, good job.
I got so excited.
Hey, I'm getting there.
All right, we are at 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Well,
You wanna keep going?
then you wouldn't have streaming elements like Rumbot and all that stuff. And that's what it is. There's a lot of cringe and gay for you, isn't there, Lord of the Rings? Not a lot of non-gay or cringe.
Let's see. We went to the top of the one place, so there's nothing more
I
we
do a
can do up
free-flowing
there.
conversational show talking with various people about whatever, regardless of creative.
Nice.
I know.
Dude, he does not
It's gross. I hate that guy.
flex your brains out.
Uh-huh.
And it brings you, which is kind of helpful, actually.
Oops, nope, that was the wrong button. I don't know why I pressed the Windows button.
Still gross. Oh, thank you. That's me. I have 2 names. Sorry.
Boop. She has 2 names. I'm so distracted
membership?
by the robot voices.
Does the membership count toward the drawing as well?
Beep bop.
Yeah, as many times as he subs or sub once, because that's all you can do, or
That's right.
however many gifts he gives. Each one is a
Beep
entry.
boop bop boop beep.
Which at this point, you're just overdoing it because nobody else is. You overachiever, you.
I like to do a little overachieving. I wake up in the morning with no coffee, but overachievements. Good to hear it, Simon.
Hey, does that mean I can watch your premium content now?
Yes.
Be well and enjoy
Well,
the rest
no,
of
because
your
you'd have to have premium.
Have a good one.
Later. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Boom. Okay. And we're out. Next page. Page 19. I can't believe I made it this far. The Stoned Wizard. Oh my. Stoned Wizard. Still elote, Pink Floyd, blueberries. There's a lot of cringe in the world. You are a man who is living in a world of cringe there. All right. Mastermind. This summer, a man goes from not knowing anything at all to being a mastermind. I've never seen a man be so devious. Trying to one second. Trying to find, there we go. Okay. I had to make sure make sure that my guest was not in trouble or anything. We'll check out the Trickster's Warehouse. We'll check out the Stoned Wizard. See if he's actually real. Oh, and he's be right back. Never mind. People are, well, it is what it is. Oh, never mind. We'll do 2 more people. We'll go to the next page. We'll do 2 more people, and then we'll go on from there. Cause yada yada do. Hey, Alpha, we gotta stop by and say hello to Alpha. Look at him, he's wearing one of those beanies. Oh, come on! Dang it, Alpha! Oh, goodness. Come on, Alpha. I'm just trying to stop by and you're not even on. Oh. Goodness sake. All right. Well, we'll stop by Junior. Junior! Oh, come on! God dang it! God, what the hell is this? Come on. All right. I ain't waiting no 4 minutes. I assume he's also cranched. Hey, well, you know what? People make content. Hey, I've had hemp. I've had a lot of people who do 420, okay? Some of it by the nature. Well, there's only one. We'll try the Lord Rexworth. See, this better be going. Oh, come on! Starting sooner, ending. This is a freaking joke. Come on, guys. Okay, we got another one. Okay, we got another one here to try. Come on, please. Oh, it's just someone restreaming someone else's stuff. That's helpful. All right, next page. Come on. And during our about to start. Well, 7 p.m. Central. That'd be 8 p.m. Eastern for me. Which my guest will be here soon. Okay. Let's see. Fathead noob. All right. The name got me. You better be still. Okay, he's good. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, he started. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. We'll do one more after this. Okay. Oh, come on. I hate when it does that. Boop.
I think it's good.
High quality. Oh, okay. No, you're fine. You can come on if you want.
All right.
No, you must stay in the background. And you must be the good boy and stay in your corner.
I'm the Bobby Brady when Cousin Oliver came in.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I know what you mean, but everything you stated so far has been fake and gay, so don't even try with me. Well, if he doesn't see we're like by the 4-minute mark, then it is what it is. We'll go to one more person, then we'll get on to our thing. Crazy game.
And a VTuber who make games. So please follow my channel and debut stream. Thank you.
Goodness sake. Please follow me because I'm a VTuber.
Make a game.
Oh, YouTuber debut. Goodness sake. Oh, they must be in VR chat or something.
So that's an anomaly, right?
Oh, yeah. It looks like they're in kind of like a VR chat or something. Well, you heard it here, folks.
You need to flip your shit, mate.
Lord of the Ree says everything is fake and gay. So now you know. Now we know. Now we.
Daramouthe.
Hey, he saw us.
Thank you so much for the rant, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. Sorry, I've got no alerts. I didn't see that come up, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Anyway, Daramouthe.
Don't worry, I brought it up. You can see it. And you can see right there. You'll see it. Just give him a second. The brain. I think he sounds English, to be honest.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Dara. I appreciate it.
Hey, he got it.
And thanks for the follow as well, man. Thanks for the follow.
Hey, you know what? We'll give.
I really do appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying not to talk over my friend at the same time.
Uh-oh.
So I really do appreciate it.
There we go.
Thanks so much. It means a lot. Dara, I'll call you Dara.
There we go. That works. They have to pay you. Yeah. That's not gonna work. That's not how that works.
Oh my God, thanks for the sub as well. Damn, you're way too kind. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry, I was just talking to him.
Pay. Okay, hold on. Pay it.
But yeah, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much.
And I'm sniping you.
Right in the den on that.
Yeah. I think so too. Everything looks the same. It says Japanese, English, Cantonese. Chinese over there. Thing on the floor. Yeah.
Pay. Yeah, that wouldn't work out. I'd get no payment whatsoever. All right. They'd not pay me. Someone is watching me outside. Oh no.
Paying it forward. That's excellent. That's a really good thing. I try and do that myself, but yeah, thank you so much, man. I do appreciate it. I'll remember to do the same for sure. Like I say, I do it most of the time when I can, anyway, for sure. But thank you, man. Every Friday, so nice.
Just about every Friday.
Follow, man. After I've finished doing this little bit.
I don't trust them.
But yeah, man.
I'm polite. You don't trust me? Oh, I'm in. You know,
always be suspicious.
Polite is suspicion is what Lord of the Ree is saying. All right, off to spread.
So that was the beginner one anyway, right?
Others see you
300.
around the bend, good sir.
Toot cheerio, mate.
Take it 2 loggers and Valium, and we're all good to go.
With your wall.
Yeah, they must be playing something in VR, or no, it reminds me of. It reminds me of Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
dude.
I played
Take
that.
care, man. Thank you so much again. Have a good one, sir.
It's my. I've done my part. I've done my part. Now I gotta go. Papa don't get paid rolling stones. I said too polite. There's a difference. I've been polite. I've been polite too. You were on my show once. Don't give me that. Don't give me that there, Lord of the Ree. Cheerio. This guy's a reptilian. He just likes the bee from the cereal. What's your problem? For goodness sake.
Honeycomb's big. Yeah.
I like a little tea with Mark crumpets, yeah? Tell me all about it and I'll tell you more.
Some people like to see the world burn.
We'll make Yarn Witch last one. I've had Yarn Witch on. She'll be on next week.
Ooh. Don't start.
No, that's lovely. I used to do that with my mom's when I had when our schedules matched up. It was nice because I could chat with my moms when they were.
Hey, Galaxy Red, what up?
Bio mom off.
What up,
work.
good sir?
Um,
That's Honey Nut
every
Cheerios.
morning,
Regular
and my
Cheerios
work
don't have a
schedule
mascot.
worked well that
Hey,
I was actually
hey. Someone
at the time, I
someone
was
wanted to
walking
eat those
from
regular Cheerios.
the bus to home or bus to work in the morning at the same time that they were doing that, so I would spend my mornings chatting with them during the commute to work. But the schedules got thrown off a little bit, and we just kind of fell out of the habit. But we talk to each other at least once a week anyway, so it works out, which is nice. If I didn't have regular contact with them, I would be putting in an effort to make something happen. I need to keep I want to keep an eye on them, you know?
You always
Kind
before
of like
that
I'm sure
stream?
how you do with your grandparents.
Good thing I'm not in the
You
UK
just
then, huh?
wanna keep an eye on them and be in touch with them.
I never thought I'd say that, but yeah.
Here you go, Chester. Oh my gosh, Daramouthe! Dude! Oh, buddy! What the heck? Hey, Dara! How are you, my man? With a $5 Rumble Rant says, for the Lady of Yarn, you are a doll. Thank you so much, my friend. Oh, my heart, dude. I was not expecting that. Thank you. It's Friday. Is it your Pay It Forward stream? Sweetheart, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Okay, anybody out there who isn't already, go subscribe to Daramouthe. He is a lovely individual. And
I forgot to do my other part.
On Fridays.
And she'll be on next
so kind
week.
of him. He does it out of the kindness of his heart. Thank you so much, Dara. It's good to see you, man. Thank you. Well, thank you for that's the first time I gotta pay it forward.
You'll be on
Rumble
next
Thank you.
week.
Cheers to you, man. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
That touched my heart. Thank you so much. Dara is a wonderful, wonderful person with a very big heart, and I really appreciate it. Gonna be on his channel next week on Thursday. Let's go.
Hearing a girl say buddy will never not
there
be
it is.
hilarious.
There he is. He says, and you'll be on next week. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much for that. That's so kind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every Friday, I believe it's every Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Almost.
Every Friday he does a Pay It Forward stream where he
goes
around on Rumble and finds small content creators and sends in a Rumble
holidays
and out of his own damn pocket
family
too. So
events.
out of the kindness of his heart. So thank you, my friend.
I
Thank
do
you.
make
That is so kind
exceptions
of you.
because
Thank
I
you.
don't live off of this. I have a full-time job.
Dara.
Oh, she's gonna like this. Just hold on here. We're
Sierra
gonna hear her
Genesis
scream
says,
more.
I mean, I told you how giddy Grandpa has been about getting to you.
We're gonna hear her
Vodka,
scream
and
more.
I bought
Hold
him
on.
for Christmas. That is so awesome. I love that your grandpa is so excited about that.
I'm gonna let her lie about
it
you like that.
sounds
She's fine.
Abso-freaking adorable.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna wait for the.
Yeah, gotta wait for the payoff on this one. There it is.
So kind of you. Daramouthe has also gifted a subscription to the Yarnwitch channel.
I'm waiting to see who gets it
man.
though. Who's gonna get it? That's the real question.
So much. You're gonna make me cry, dude.
Oh,
Challenge accepted.
Oh yeah,
Daramouthe is
we're
a good
gonna
guy.
get
Really
very
good
generous
Indiana.
tonight.
Really
At least because she's the last person.
He says
Really,
almost every
'cause-
Friday except holidays and family events. That's fair. But hell, dude, that's an amazing commitment. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by during
She's
your
the last
Pay It
person
Forward
anyways.
stream.
Not,
That's so kind of you.
not
And a
gonna- I don't have to
subscription.
worry too much.
Thank you.
Just wait for it.
Thank you.
There we go.
That is so sweet of him. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. There we go. What a sweetheart. Ah, no, you didn't have to do. Daramouthe is also
Squishy got it.
done
Yes.
a Rumble Rant, a $10 Rumble Rant. Thank you so much. No message. No, there it is. There's the message. He says, "You know what? Why not?" Dara, you're gonna make me cry, man.
I keep talking like that. You're gonna get cried. All right.
Squishy Banana was gifted the membership by Daramouthe. Oh,
Do the
that's
waterworks.
wonderful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do this again.
You guys.
We're gonna do this again.
Your tears give me power.
Thank you so much. That is so kind of you.
I've had her on. I've had her on
Oh my
before, but
gosh.
I just wanted the squishy. Yeah, squishy.
That is so kind. Thank you. I didn't expect anything out of the stream tonight, y'all. So
There
that
we
was
go.
so kind. Any gifted anyone! Dara, don't break the bank, man. Don't break the bank. I already agree agreed to come on the channel.
This isn't a payoff.
Thank you. Daramouthe has gifted another subscription to the channel, so that's 2 in total. Thank you so much, my
Don't
man.
tell
Thank
Tomby.
you from the bottom of my heart. I know the husband would send his thank you as well if he's not able to watch the stream because it's a Rumble exclusive, Rumble Premium exclusive. So, I know he would say thank you as well. So thank you so much, my friend. That is so kind of you. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm gonna try and do this before I actually die in the game.
So we got some.
There we go. There we go. Thank you. This isn't a payoff, LOL. Don't tell Tomby. It'll be our secret.
It'll break my neck.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That is so kind. That is so kind. Thank you. Oh. Dara, thank you, man. Cheers to you. Here's this sip of beer. This drink is to you.
Oh, she's drinking beer, everyone. We gotta do more. Woo!
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Gonna be reeling from that. Thank you, man. I hope the Pay It Forward stream goes really well. Thank you, thank you. Aww. Oh, that's so lovely to see. Thank you so much, man. Shit, I'm gonna die. There we go. Okay. Phew. Don't die. Don't die, Ernie. Don't die. I hope the stream goes well, my friend. Yes, there he is. Dara says, all right, off to spread the love to others. Be well and have fun. Thank you, Dara. Thank you for that. And you have a wonderful
Because she,
rest of
I
your
believe
Friday
she
stream.
recently just started
Thank you for the generosity.
multi-streaming over
So
here.
thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Anybody who hasn't already, please go subscribe to Daramouthe.
she must
Good
be
guy.
a part of
Clearly,
the creator program
very
too
generous
as
of
well
yours.
on Rumble
Thank you,
because
man.
she
Having a
only
guest on
that
tonight,
all there
so
be able to
going
do the
for that.
premium
Hope
thing.
things are going well over here, says Dara. Yes, well, they certainly are now. No complaints. they were going well before, going even better now. So thank you, man.
All right. Well, we've done our
You have
part.
a good one, my friend. Have fun with the guest.
Boom. All right. Well, she said we have said our farewells, and I would have gone further, but alas, I also need to eat. But regardless, that was the Pay It Forward stream again. I do try to go throughout the Rumble side and just kind of show a little love and all that stuff, and out of my own pocket too. Like I don't like money is not the reason why I do this thing with Rumble and all this stuff. Even though it's a nice bonus, I don't make like the thousands that other people do. And to be honest, I have a full-time job, so it's not that big of a deal. But regardless, glad to make her the last one. I'll be on Windows streaming for a little bit. I can't usually do stream during the week due to work. Maybe a Friday night I could join. Well, we can do that for July. We can do that for a July one. I already have one person doing a July one. Now it's not going to be the first week because the first week is always is already full. Again, the first week has July 4th and all this stuff in it. So from July 3rd to July 7th. Well, actually, it's like July 3rd to July 8th because the 7th I have off too. So I'll be off. So there won't be anything going on during that time. I don't do the holiday like I said earlier. I don't do holiday stuff or family event stuff like, Okay, cry now. Yeah, you're not gonna make me cry with that, but I will write your name down, just cause. Just cause. Give me 1 second. But yes, I won't be on for the whole because I know some people will be streaming during the 4th of July and all that stuff, and I just don't do that. I take the time off because one, I don't depend on Rumble for livelihood, and two, Independence Day, but my birthday is more important. Oh, sure, it's more important. I thought you grew up out of that. I was told it was important till I grew up out of that too. But no, thank you there, Lord of the Ree. But yeah, so family events and holidays are usually things that take off. So it's like there's 4th of July weekend, and then you got like Labor Day weekend. That's two. And then of course like Thanksgiving, and then what else? Then you got Christmas and New Year's. Those usually I don't do. But I usually give people a lot of notice ahead of time because like if you just disappear, people think like you're dead or something, but they can't really know if something's happened to you until something's said. And that's a whole nother thing and stuff. Then the third, everyone, just for me, it's awesome. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Santa Claus is real, and Easter Bunny still lays chocolate eggs. Well, no happy birthday, though. I'll try to stop by the sale. But hello, how are you, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Looks like he jumped in at the right time. we got to see people almost cry.
Sometimes in life, oh my, yes, oh my, it is. And of course, like I said, I've had yarn with John before, so I know her a bit. And like you said, she'll be on next week. But definitely, when I do have a guest on, I try to kind of like cut it to the close because there's all more stuff to focus on. I don't know what to tell you. Well, okay, but it still doesn't mean that it's for you, though. The parades aren't for you. That's all I'm trying to get at. Not trying to rain on your parade, but if it does, there will be no fireworks and there will be no parade. So hopefully it doesn't actually rain. Hopefully it doesn't actually rain on the parade. But yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh no, of course, yeah, because I was trying to figure out. So is it just called Infinitale or whatever? Because that's just the channel thing on Twitter X, and then there's a whole group behind it. It's like, okay, so which person out of all these people am I going to get?
Oh, yeah.
Because you go to your website and there's like a whole list of like artistry and story and all stuff, and I'm just like, who am I getting?
Yeah,
I don't know. Who this is.
Yeah, we are Legion. No, yeah, I'm Chris Fisk. I'm the creator of the Infinitale Chronicles. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you got such a nice name, a Fisk. I almost thought it said Fink for a second there, but that's neither here nor there. That's just silly. It's obviously for my birthday. buddy, you may call the world gay and retarded or whatever, but that's gay. All right, that's gay. You say, yeah, it's funny thing is like you say the whole world is gay and retarded, but the one thing you leave out is people celebrating on your birthday for giving you a parade stuff. I'm like, that's kind of a special needs case right there.
Damn.
I've had Lord of the Realm before. I know him. I wouldn't go that far. But no, but yeah, thank you for coming on. Oh crap, I don't know. I know you followed me, but I can't remember who it was, Sue or something like that. Because I remember you've been following me for a while, and I figured just to reach out and see about having you on. Because I'm not about status. I don't care if you're a creator or not. I've had people who aren't creators. I have people who don't show their face. I don't really care. I don't care because obviously you do get a lot of people. It's my gay and cringeable way saying that. Well, like a suppository, you'll take it anyway.
Don't clinch.
Don't. That's what they tell you when the endoscopy comes. Don't flinch.
Yeah, I don't want to be conscious when that happens.
Usually they give you a sedation for it, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And as much lube as it takes, but that's neither here nor there. When you start sounding like a musical instrument after, that's not a good sign.
No, when you whistle and you're not trying to.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Where's that face? Where's that fake whistle coming from?
Yeah. Hey, that guy doesn't have to grunt to poop. Oh. Yay, incontinence.
Oh man. That's the good stuff right there. Toilet humor is still the best humor because you'll still laugh at it. Everyone laughs at a fart to some degree unless you smelt it, then you dealt it, and then we don't laugh.
Yeah, unless you're trapped in an elevator or something.
Oh goodness. No. The worst is when you're in a car and you're not the one in control, right?
Oh. Or like you're in an office setting and somebody drops like El Viento de Muerte in the cube and you're like, did my boss just do that? Do I need?
This smells like flaming. Smells like flaming Cheetos. What the?
Okay, which one of y'all ate the Cheetos? No quiero morir.
Bob, did you have Italian?
Smells a little pasta-y. No, there's definitely some olives in that one.
Oh goodness. It's just what it is for the rest of the night. Just more toilet humor than I can handle. But that's what the flush button is for. But anyway, but yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if it was through Twitter X or through Rumble or some sort of faction, because I know you were following me to some degree, so I apologize. But no, but yeah, it's always, I like I was telling the Paladins people, I talk to people who are creators or not, because a lot of. And this is to no fault of their own. What I do is a bigger risk than just inviting other creators on. Although there is still risk with that, but it's a lot less than what I do. Because I didn't really see a lot of other people doing it. At least a lot of other people I followed, like other creators or whatnot. And I used to just consume content or whatever. I still do to some degree, but it's kind of lesser because I can create content now. Probably won't do that much. But yeah, so I just enjoy doing that. I mean, again, I can proclaim within like a little over a year, I've had on over 200 various guests.
Oh wow!
So, and this is an inclusion of people who, a few who have blocked me, some who are a bit of a challenge, like trying to draw water from stone, in conversation. That's true. You've had people VTubers, people who don't even show their face. Well, VTubers, I guess, would count in that. I've had current and former military on. I've had people who worked in the technology field who are on. I've had a wide array of people, but when nothing against content creators who do, but when people I've had 10,000 followers or whatever, or I have this many people subscribe to me or whatnot. It's great milestones to celebrate, but for me, it's about how many people I got to have an interaction with, conversational wise, through DaraChat. And when I can say I've had on over 200 various guests, this is like almost every weekday. Like this right here, this is the rest of June.
Oh wow!
Right there. So, and there have been some people who stuff has happened and they haven't shown, and I usually do a solo stream. It happens. But it just, like I was talking to Otter yesterday, it's like it makes me feel crazy because it feels like I'm the only one who's really kind of doing something like that. Where usually the routing is, from what I've seen, is people, you got creators who either, make friends with other creators and they kind of stay within their group, stay within their niche, or they kind of try to go to someone who brings up like a higher status sort of thing or something like that. You've had someone who's considered higher. I don't know what that's actually called, but usually on a rare occasion you may have them reach out and they might not get a response back, but I think it's about keep trying. But I've not really seen anyone go after people who aren't creators. I mean, I have talked to Tundra Tactical, who's a very two-way kind of guy. And he's added people on who are sort of like in his Discord sort of thing. So I guess I can't say too far against that, but they have to be in his Discord to be on and that sort of thing. So there is an age of, not an age, there is a point of verification. But for me, it's like, I didn't verify you. I don't. Papers? Where are your papers at? I speak the English, bro. Don't try to take me out.
Lo siento, no hablo inglés.
No habla español, señor.
Yeah. Dekimasu chotto nihongo desu.
Yeah. Wait a second. But no, I just can proclaim that and not throw anybody who's in a local stream something. Yeah, but they're from his locals though. They're not from outside of a safety net area, which I understand. I get deported. Oh yeah, we're not gonna do that. You get deported with a $1,000 ticket back to your country. That's why you get deported. But no, I get that. I get you. It's a sort of what is it? It's sort of like a buffering area. So like, oh, you know these people or whatever. But for me, it's like I I try to be like a blank slate to everyone I have come on, because it's sort of like the first step, right?
Mm.
First step, you converse with each other, and then the next time there's another page to add to the book, and so on and so forth. And you sort of build something from nothing, and that's what I like to be able to do, because you don't know much about me, and that's fine. That's okay. Through conversation, that can happen, and then you're just like all over the place. Like, this guy is crazy, and then you're like, I don't want to come back. Tom Human is it's Human. It's with two O's. Human. Like human, but with two O's. But yeah, you are is Infinitale your first comic ever, or no?
Well, it's the second book in my series, but yeah, Infinitale Chronicles is like my first foray into comics. You know, I was a video game developer for about a decade before then.
What?
Oh yeah.
What like a big company, small company? What for?
Well, some of them were kind of big. A lot of them were indies. Like I when I first got in the industry, I worked for a company called Offset Software, and they never actually made a game because they Namco Bandai, our publisher, dropped us like a bad habit about a year into production.
What?
Yeah, they didn't, without a warning. Just one day, it was like, boop, you know. So we're all like, you know, no money. Yeah, so that project kind of fizzled out. And then I went over to a company called Red 5 Studios, which was founded by a bunch of ex Blizzard guys. And yeah, we worked on a game called Firefall. And if you play Overwatch, you'll notice a lot of artistic similarities, a lot of skill similarities. Yeah, when that company imploded, a lot of the guys fled back to Blizzard and took our stuff with them. And then yeah, the third one I worked on was with NBC Universal and the Sci-Fi Channel. It was called Defiance. It was a TV show and a video game. And, yeah, it was like half the cast of Dexter came over to work on the Sci-Fi Channel. Linda Hamilton was there, which was pretty cool.
Ooh, I've heard of the name, but I never watched the show. I mean, I don't really watch much TV anymore, to be honest.
Same here.
Funny story is, me and my family, we I don't know if you know, there's this thing called KOA, and they're like a campground for tents, RVs, and all that stuff. But they have these like cabins you can rent out, and they're expensive as heck, more expensive than any hotel. I played Defiance. Oh, look at that!
Oh, sweet.
There you go.
Yay! I'm sorry.
It was. Oh, look there! You got a positive review. It was fun.
Sweet. Thanks.
The so they have these cabins there, expensive as heck, more than a hotel room. But we stayed anyway because my mom used her points or whatever. And so in these cabins they have the TV that has like the cable and stuff, right? So I had not watched cable in ages. You know, I used to watch when my parents had cable. I think it was on the PS3. I have no idea.
Yep, PS3, Xbox, and PC.
See, and it's probably out there on Steam somewhere out there. But that's right. But you know, so I hadn't watched cable in ages, and when I did, it's like the Travel Channel and whatnot. Look, I will say this: don't watch the Travel Channel when you're hungry, because it will make you more hungry. Okay.
Like every commercial is like food.
No. They have shows where one of the shows would be they like travel all over the country, finding like the best steakhouses or the best burger joints or stuff like that, and you would just. Oh my Lord, I about cried myself to sleep. I was like, I gotta have that. Unfortunately, getting fat is not something I want to do.
No, you don't.
Look, you know, Violet, it was great, but I do not want to have a bunch of Oompa Loompas rolling me around every day of my life. Oompa, Oompa, Oompa dee doo. He's a fat man and he's going to fall through. Getting back. I'm just too good, I think. But that's a little egotistical. I understand, but I don't always say that myself. So there's that. But so they rented this cabin, and of course, I haven't watched cable in ages. And food Travel Channel. Oh man, almost make you feel diabetic by watching a show. But
sugar food.
Sure, a whole assortment. Ace of Cakes. All right. You'd have Diners, Drives, and whatever else it was by Guy Fieri. Good Lord.
Jeez.
Make me hungry. But anyway, so they have the TV, they have cable, all this stuff. And the funniest thing was I turned it on and it was nothing but commercials all dang day.
Yep.
Like they would we were watching I think it was either the first or second Jack Reacher movie, the one with Tom Cruise in it, because it was Jack Reacher the movies, and then there was a show with the guy who's very buff, and every woman loves a buff guy. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But anyway, so we were watching, and it was like every 5 minutes it'd break into commercials. Like, is this a movie about Jack Reacher or about commercials? Because I'm not sure anymore. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad for ad blockers, because YouTube would be nothing but
Oh
just
yeah.
ads. Thank you, Brave, for all you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like so that's why I don't really watch cable or regular TV anymore. As Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford wishes he knew where he was most of the time. All right, the dude is like, he does not want to be. Most of the time, it's like, it's for, even Star Wars stuff, whatever. It's like he doesn't want to be there. He's just doing it to get paid. And all of a sudden, they're asking him questions about the movie and stuff. He's like, "Who are you people gonna? What? Yeah,
Yeah. Get a life.
I remember I was watching. I can't remember. I think it was for the new Indiana Jones game, the Circle, the Great Circle, whatever. And he was on stage with the voice actor for, because he did a really good, Indiana Jones. And then there was someone else on it, and he was like zonked out of his mind. He was looking at them, was like, "What? What is it?"
Isn't he like 90 though? Like he's barely he's starting to turn to dust.
We better find this out first. Harrison Ford. Harrison. Oh no, it's two S's. No, it's two.
2 R's.
Harrison Ford. Yes, it's 2 R's. Okay, Harrison Ford. He is 1942, so he is 82. Wow.
Oh, he's only he's
for people, and just to show some reference. There you go. 82 right there. 1942, 82. Wow.
Wow. A day that will live in infamy.
Yeah. And he has an earring too, so deal with that as is. But it's
right.
Watch Clear or Present Danger Air Force One. Yeah. Harrison Ford solely belongs to a museum. Yes, that's true. Someone please. That man's so old he belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. No one will put him there because he's probably high at a certain point.
Well, just don't let him fly his plane toward it. That's why he takes all these jobs. He needs all that money. Those planes are expensive.
True. There you go, Lord of the Ring. That's an Indiana Jones joke. I got it. We put him in a museum. We'll forget about him. Actually, technically, he is in a museum. It's the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, but that's mostly a wax of himself. So,
yeah.
A man frozen in time can never escape, but is always surrendered. He is the Harrison Ford. Sure you did, Dara. Always. But yeah, so yeah, but that's pretty cool though that I've been part of the gaming industry. Again, I know some people who've making their games, like Squishy. Squishy is making his own game.
Nice.
I know Wacky Museum are literally faking gay. Well, you would know, wouldn't you? The faker and the gayer, the better, I guess. But yeah, because it's sort of nice to have that perspective because you've been in it, and whether it be mostly just indie or whatever. The thing about so do you experience not a very good person here. As experience wise, do you know, like, the thing about game engines per se, because there's been a lot of the change and stuff of going over to, say, like, Unreal, Unity, and all that stuff, because a great example would be CD Projekt Red, right? The whole Witcher thing, right? For a while now, they had their own engine to kind of deal with it, The Witcher 3 and all that stuff. But then for the new game that's going to be coming out, whenever that's going to be, they're using Unreal Engine, I believe, 5 for that. So for someone who's been in that industry and has probably dealt with engines to some degree, what are your thoughts on that? And I mean, what like the costs and stuff is that mostly why they're moving off to someone else's engine?
Well, so I can definitely say that there's a lot of advantages to licensing an already existing game engine to make your product.
Mhm.
Because I've worked in studios where we literally had our own proprietary game engine. We built it, in house,
Right.
and as a result, it became a lot more cumbersome to developers because when we're making this, we need a tools engineer to build the tools for our designers. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of people coding.
Mhm.
So, we've got other people that need to access this game as well. And when you have a proprietary engine, sometimes bugs occur, and you don't know if it's like user error that caused the bug or if it was, the proprietary engine that did it. Like Defiance, for example, that thing was built in Microsoft Access, and we had one of our junior designers accidentally nuked the entire database one day. All of our stuff vanished in one. Like it was just, it was like, I'm really glad we back up. It's just we back up in 24-hour increments, so we literally lost a day's worth of work.
Oh, that sucks. You have to do like more than so.
Yeah.
'Cause it sucks because it can happen in a split second. And if you're like
Yep.
5 hours behind, you've lost a lot of time. And Lord of the Rings has a question: doesn't having your own engine also make it harder to port the game to more consoles?
Yes and no. When we did Defiance, it was a multi-plat, which sucked because that era, that generation, the consoles, they had all these disparate what they called terms, conditions, and like requirements or TRCs,
Yeah.
and like you had to meet like certain criteria for each console. And even if you had like a third-party engine that you were licensing, you still had to accommodate for the quirks. Like for example, here, the PS3 was a monster. It had the cell processor. It was an awesome system. The only problem is it had a slow as like ass 1x BD-ROM Blu-ray drive. It was like the first one that had the Blu-ray drive. It's super slow, so you couldn't stream anything off that disc. Everything had to be installed to the hard drive. Well, that's fine, but when you're like 100 gigs or 30 gigs or whatever in size, like your game is going to take a while. And the flip side of that, though, is when you're developing for multiple consoles, not when we went over to the Microsoft end, it was a lot easier to develop for, and we could stream data off of the disk because they had a faster disk drive. Their problem is in their TRCs, they had a stipulation where the game had to be able to be run in under 4 gigabytes because they sold Xbox 360s without hard drives. So we made the PS3 one you had to install, and it was. And then on top of that, when I was designing, I was in a content designer, and I was designing these like little side missions and stuff. I worked on these things called arc falls and all this stuff. But we had this one where it was like a sniper mini game, and on a PC with a mouse and a keyboard, it was like a point and click adventure. It was super easy. All you had to do was like snipe these guys running at you. You click on them and boom, they're dead from a sniper's roost. And it was really super easy to get like a platinum trophy in it. But now go over to the PS3 or the Xbox 360, use a controller and try that exact same challenge. And suddenly it's a super, like, it's nearly impossible to even get bronze or to place in it. So I had to design all of my encounters to dynamically switch and challenge between when it acknowledged a mouse and keyboard was plugged in or when a controller was plugged in, so that the challenge would change to accommodate the input. And I don't think I'm actually, now that I think about it, that would have been easier on the Unreal Engine because that definitely accommodates for that stuff.
See, and forgive me, I don't know much about game making. What I've talked to people who do, but everyone has a bit of a different perspective of how they do it, or the businesses they work for, whatever. Like a lot of there've been a lot of game companies out there that have shut down because they've overspent or they've done all this stuff. And they have bloat when they don't need to and all that stuff. And I think one of the things that's been an oddity to me, but I kind of get in a business scale, has been exclusivity, right? You had God of War, what was it? Ragnarok was exclusive to the PlayStation for a year. 'Cause usually it's just a year. Or what was the recent game that came out that was 2 a year? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Mhm.
That was exclusive to the PS5 for a year as well. But I get that but somehow Ubisoft still exists. Well,
yeah, that was not a good company to work for.
the only thing I ever bought was from Ubisoft was the Sim City thing. It was a long while ago. I can't remember if it was that. But oh darn it. But it's just one of those things where I have to go back to find out where I'd lost my train of thought, and thank you for that, Lord of the Ree. At least I'm willing to admit it. Okay, I lost my train of thought. All right. But because again, like I was saying, I like that kind of information because I don't get those. We don't get those behind the scenes, right? Oh, that's right, exclusivity. Thank you, brain. The exclusivity thing feels like a dunce because with the just doing my job map, you're going to be doing a lot of different jobs after tonight. But for me, the exclusivity thing feels kind of old hat because for say the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it didn't do very well for PlayStation 5.
Well,
and go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're fine.
This whole console generation is like, it pisses me off. This is the first console generation I completely skipped.
Mm.
I mean, I've been a gamer since the 2600.
Wow.
I've had all of the 8-bit consoles, the Sega Master System, all the way up through the NES. Yeah, and granted, when I was in the industry, it was all tax write-offs because it was part of my job, so I basically got free consoles. But like when I left the industry and they're like, hey, look at these cool consoles, and first of all, there's almost nothing like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, other than like the operating system that powers the games, there's very little different, between those two. And it's like, you're basically just a gated garden PC. You're a software rental terminal.
Yeah.
And, they become so anti-consumer that I've actually, like, I emulate. I got like 12 terabytes of emulated games. I don't even care about the modern stuff anymore. It's so unappealing because of how many like traps, like how many like, oh, you used to be able to unlock characters and skins in fighting games. Now you got to buy them. And it's like, no, like, and they put that they lowered the gated garden so that you can't even like mod in your own skins anymore, or they'll like on the Nintendo Switch 2, like they'll literally brick the system so that you can't access it if it detects any kind of tampering or anything.
Jeez. Well, it means they've gotten smarter though, but hey, that's the Japanese for you.
But
no, yeah. Well, but I mean, it comes, and I know DRM is part of that situation too, where I know GOG or GOG is pretty DRM free stuff there. So and Lord of the Rings says I have a PS5 and a PC. I use my PC to game a lot, but sometimes I just want to game on the couch. Not every game works on my Steam Deck. However, ROMs run really well on it. Linux. Emulation is preservation. Yeah, unless Nintendo comes after you, and then you're like paying up the wazoo to try to keep them off your back.
Yeah.
So emulation doesn't save you if they find you.
Yeah. The thing for me is like, I got tired of playing Nintendo, like their business market, like they were incredibly anti developer back in the 8-bit days. They actually forced developers to sign exclusivity development deals.
What?
Yeah, it was like, if you developed a game for Nintendo, you could not develop for Sega. Yeah, and they also limited the number of games you could develop every year. So yeah, they're like, you can only have like, I think it was like 1 game or 2 games a year. So companies ended up creating like offshoot companies to bypass that. So for example, if you've ever played a game from a company called Ultra, that's just Konami. They split themselves up as a business entity just so they could make more than the 1 or 2 games that Nintendo said. Yeah, it was incredibly like aggressive. And then like I've already bought Super Mario Brothers. Okay, I bought it, back in '85. I bought it again when it was on like the virtual consoles and stuff. I'm not going to buy that game again.
Yeah.
So I emulate it. Like, and I'm not like beholden to a single platform now, because
Yeah.
Nintendo, for some reason, can't grasp this concept. They're starting to. They're about a decade behind the West, but like they don't have this concept where accounts are where you associate your software licenses, not the platforms. So, like, you should be able to have platform agnostic games where, say, you're playing your Nintendo Switch and you drop it, it gets hit by a car or whatever. You should be able to buy a brand new Nintendo Switch and just, yeah.
Sort of like how Apple has their you can buy a song from one, and if your product, that sort of thing, that kind of ecosystem. But yeah, it's a different culture. Obviously, fair use is not a thing in Japan, so yeah,
yeah,
a lot of people are hit by that stuff. But I'm just going back to the engine thing. I have just been in the fascination of, because I know that's been a big discussion for a lot of people, especially for CD Projekt Red, moving over their stuff and using Unreal, because there's that sort of be independent from that sort of thing, make your own engines. But like you stated, it's a almost costly, timely manner. And at a certain point, I mean, you're going to want to be on other consoles, as long as there's other consoles, and then PC. And for me, I know there's Unity. I don't think Blender. I think that's more of a 3D modeling. There's Unity. There's
Godot.
Godot. Oh, that's Godot. And then of course Unreal. And and of course you have the other stuff with like I think Kojima has his own with Death Stranding and all that. They have their own engine and all that. So there is that. But hey, Miss Sparkles, how are you?
Hey.
Lord of the Play, or like the PlayStation or Xbox. Okay. If Steam iOS keeps going like it has been, we might see an end to consoles. Well,
Yes.
I mean, it sort of started with the Switch, because the Switch was the whole mobile gaming thing, right? Like well, not that. I mean, you have your phone, so you have mobile gaming there, but this is like a bigger version of that. And so with the Steam Deck, which I think came out a little after the first Switch did, and it runs on Linux, or its own version of Linux. But the point of the matter is, though, Unity, yes, Unity is another engine. The point of the matter is, though, is that I kind of agree that there's going to be sooner or later a freedom from consoles, to the fact of, well, I mean, and you just think about too, like there was a movie a long time ago called Ready Player One, and that's also another form, like VR and all this stuff. That's another form of where that stuff is going to go, because I'll switch you. What? I'll switch you. No, it's the Switch. What? No. But it's sort of that thing where, yeah, it's just a funny thing that Thomas the Train is also an engine. Yeah. Wow.
Developed on the tank engine.
No, I just think VR and the handheld are going to become more prominent, because that movie flopped in it. Which one? I don't. Ready Player One. I don't know. I can't remember. I enjoyed watching the movie, so for me it didn't flop. I even have bought like the online sort of thing, but for me it didn't flop. But could have for other people. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like the books, though. I have been told it wasn't like the books, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was done by Steven Spielberg. So do you really want to argue with Steven Spielberg, or you just want to enjoy a movie?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could get into VR. My company hooked me up with one of those MetaQuest 2 things. And like I had the original PlayStation VR, and I love the experience, but everything seems to be like a tech demo. But what gets me is I have a super high intolerance to motion. Like,
yeah.
And so there was this one game called Riggs, and the PlayStation VR has a microphone built into the headset. So I'm playing online with these other people who are in these like giant mechs that look like those things from the end of Aliens there that Ripley was in.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like throwing a ball around a field, and you got these retro jets that are thrusting, moving you all around. And I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh, guys, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I just started vomiting. And I like pulled the headset off and just like destroyed my hardwood floor. And then I put it back on, and I look up, and all of the people are around me looking down. They're like, "You okay, man?" Yeah, it happened to me yesterday.
Wow. Yeah, that's another thing too, is the motion sickness. I've never had one on. I just I can't afford. So there's that. But no, I can understand it too, because there are people who are very motion sickness, and that is sort of a surreal thing. Because I mean, if you're in VR, you may have had a yeah, that does suck for throwing up. But I mean, it's like you can only play within a limited space of, and usually you can bump into things, bump into chair if you're not paying attention. It's probably more dangerous than what people were doing with Pokemon Go, which was like you'd heard the stories of people trespassing to get to the mark. And I was like,
falling off hills.
oh goodness.
Well, have you ever heard of AR?
Yes, that's what was it? AR is it is
augmented. Yeah.
Dang it! I was almost there. I was going to say artificial, but that was wrong. Augmented reality. Yes.
Yeah, I don't get sick on that, and I actually prefer augmented reality, because there was this video of this guy that was playing Dragon Quest, or a Dragon Quest property game in AR, where he went into his backyard and he started fighting like slimes and goblins and spiders and stuff with like in his backyard. So like, he's seeing his backyard, but like the AR comes in where it computer generates like models and puts them in the world in front of him. So even though he's in his real world, so he won't get motion sick, there's like, things jumping off of trees, things on picnic tables and stuff. And he's got this sword that it magically extends from his hand, and it's not there in reality. He just makes a fist. But in the game, he can see there's like the sword, and I was like, okay, that's something I want to play. Just the exercise potential alone on that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think I know Pokemon Go does that too, but I think the other part was when, and I know it was a ridiculously expensive thing, but when Apple's Vision Pro came out, it was pretty big on the AR stuff too, and I think that's going to be another possibility of the future, is the AR stuff, because while it's not there yet and it was way too expensive for anyone to buy, if they get it right, there are going to be people up and down the wall to buy stuff that will just be, and yeah, it's just incredible where this technology goes. But going back to the engine thing, for me, I've not seen very much of Unity or whatever, but for me, Unity sorry, not Unity, Unreal has been a bit of a powerhouse in its own way, because of just what they've been capable of doing with the Unreal Engine. It's been insane of what they can do with it, because like when Unreal Engine 5 came out, that pretty much changed everything at that point of what an engine was capable of doing. And they had the nanite, they had all this luminosity stuff. It was just everywhere, thanks to Neuralink. Only if you let Elon put it in your brain will you have the Neuralink.
Yeah, no thanks. Like, I'll wear the goggles. I'm not getting a chip in me.
Especially when it could fry your brain if you get an EMP.
Yeah.
But no,
your
it's
social credit score is too low.
Yeah, that too. Well, I'm sure China already has that. But just the thing with Unreal Engine alone, I think it's pretty powerful, because also they have that meta-human thing too. If you haven't seen that, that's been insane.
It's like Speed Tree for people.
Well, there was a demo they did a while back, and the girl who was sort of the main person in Senua, right? The Hellblade Senua. And so all they did for one of it was they had like this iPhone or whatever on a stand, and she would just run through these different emotional matters like happy, sad, all this stuff. And they put it through the process for a bit. and they were able to track and do all this stuff and make like a weird 3D model of her to a degree as best as possible, and they used directly from the iPhone. This now again in movies they have mocap or games they have mocap. Of course, I've seen it, but they use a iPhone to capture her facialness and got it on a 3D. And not only that, but with MetaHuman, they planted it on many other models as well, and just used the muscle movement and whatnot to move the mouse and all that stuff. And it's just been interesting. I mean, it may be a little biased, but I've never messed with Unity or Unreal because of the fact of I just don't know all that stuff to begin with. Say as compared to someone of yourself who sort of dealt with and messed with stuff. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see people move to already made engines, and I think they kind of make sense because it takes away a majority of the work they have to do. Again, pointing to like the AI stuff, right? Like I saw a lot of people when Grok 3 came out, a lot of people were using it to make a game, right? I think it was like they're doing like a asteroid game or whatever, but sooner or later they were making like one person was making a 3D version of that. And I'm just like, hold on here a second. You've got engines, you've got AI. Sooner or later, you're going to have people who are just going to mess with it enough to make their own game, and they have no experience in, was it developer or engineer, all this stuff, because the majority of the work is taken up by something else. And so, so from your perspective, I mean, how do you think that is for the current industry system, whatever you want to call it? And do you think it will whittle down to just a few instead of having a whole sway of just, let's see, different engines or different companies making games?
Well, I think for starters, we always need to have competition or things stagnate. And in all honesty, as great as Unreal Engine is, it does have some limitations. It's a huge resource hog, you know. But like, you know, and then Unity pulled that crap last year where it basically pissed off all of its users. But ultimately, you always want to have at least one or more, you know, competitors to keep them honest. Essentially, it's like, remember when Electronic Arts bought the NFL license and they made it exclusive, and like suddenly we had like the 2K sports games that had to use like fake football teams instead of, and it was like, wow, look at how crappy the Madden games haven't changed in like the last 30 years. Like, yeah. And that's because there's no competition. There's nothing to force excellence. You know, there's nothing to temper the blade essentially.
Yeah.
And I foresee I think AI is going to be a huge disruptor in the sense that we're going to see a lot of people losing their jobs. AI is going to, or large language models are basically going to do to skilled labor what automation did to unskilled labor, you know, and that it worries me. I mean, it sounds like a fear, like almost a Luddite, you know, kind of fear of technology, but like, I see it every day where companies, especially out of touch executives that are just hear the buzzwords and they're like, oh, we could save our company, you know, millions if we just fire our entire design staff and use AI. And it's like, you don't understand. AI is a tool. It's not a, you know, it's not a replacement. And a lot of people in a lot of positions have replaced stuff. But with that said, when AI becomes at a level where unskilled people can start making their own video games, I don't think it'll be as like the end result is what's important. And I don't think we will see great games when the development becomes more accessible, because you have people that don't understand, like, and I hate using like game terms, but like ludology, you know, like what is your core game loop? Like, whenever we see these like Mario Maker levels or like, you know, Minecraft or whatever, a lot of it is just people screwing around with stuff. And, you know, the easier it is to make things to screw around with, the more noise to signal you get. You know, you don't really get good games, you just get a lot of glut. And we're already, like, if you look at the Steam marketplace, we have so much glut now. You know, it's like 90% of games are crap right now. You know, and it's there's like a million games that come out like every month or whatever, and like 90% of them are crap. So it makes it hard for you to, as a gamer, to be like, where's the things that are actually worth my time to look at?
Yeah.
And I think AI is going to ruin that.
Well, it's going to do it. I see it just going both ways because, again, like you said, it's a tool, and tools don't have, tools don't have, what's the term? Not sentience. It's more of they don't have a sense of good or bad because they aren't good or bad. They're simply tools. It's just the extension of the people themselves. A garden hoe can be great for making a garden, cleaning things up, all this stuff, or you could kill your neighbor with it.
I'm not saying that's oddly specific, but yes.
Well, I mean, it is a tool. Is it as much as a tool of help as it is a destruction?
Yeah.
Tools also can't take accountability. Well, yes, because it can't move without someone doing anything. It's like let me use another one. A gun.
Yeah.
Right? A gun can't do anything on its own accord. It can't load itself, it can't reload itself, it can't clean itself, it can't do any of those things. Maybe one day in the future it could, but that's through other means. A gun on its own, if you were to bury a gun out in the forest, no one knew where it was, all that stuff. Buried out in the forest, it may have a bullet in it, it may not. How long do you think it would be before someone would find it? Right? The tool is it's not going to dig itself up and walk. It's going to stay buried underground for however long until someone or some pet or dog, whatever, finds it, or until time itself just whittles it down until it's showing from the earth. A tool is a tool, regardless, and you're going to have good and bad people use it. I see.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a garden hoe. I've only met regular hoes. They must have been gay from how you see the world.
Wait, that hoe has some special package with her.
We call that the man hoe.
Yeah,
man lady hoe.
It's a tarp.
But no, I look again with the AI stuff. I get the fear, but at the end of the day, it's like with bombs, like with guns, like with anything that can take somebody out. AI is nothing more than the tool we use it for, and there will be a lot of people who will misuse it. There'll be same with their phones. There are a lot of people who will misuse it. There'll be a lot of people who will just be like, "Bing, bing, go," because that's how it mostly is. Convenience.
So part of like my day job, I work in cybersecurity, and I do a lot of user experience studies. And speaking of tools and stuff, one tool that or I shouldn't really call it a tool, one piece of entertainment that we've had actually has had a major negative impact on an entire generation of users, and that's TikTok.
Yeah.
Like people, they call it TikTok brain or whatever, but like from a psychological perspective, it is a weapon. Like TikTok is actually banned in the country that makes it, which is funny.
As far as I heard, they don't show the same things they do in China as they do everywhere else.
Yep, but like so the small hit dopamine, the 30-second, like Lord of the Rings movies, which are like 3 hours long or whatever, could not be made today. Like because Generation Z or whatever they're called, the Zoomers and the Alphas that come after them, do not have the attention span because they've been conditioned to those bite-sized dopamine hits that they do not enjoy long-form entertainment. Millennials are the last generation to actually appreciate like media. Like that's why Hollywood's dying. That's why all of these like movie companies and all these TV shows, they're all dying because everybody got TikTok brain now. Everybody wants those 30-second little, like, people don't even want to play video games anymore. They would rather watch other people play video games.
Well, and that kind of lends itself to the whole content creators thing, creator sphere thing, because I guess I can consider myself it because of what I do, but I don't. It's a multi-varied thing to put an answer to, and so that requires a multi-varied answer to the multi-varied question. And the problem of it is that there's no easy way to answer those questions. Like, okay, so how do we take care of the TikTok? Well,
we can't.
Well, one is you can't ban it because then you'll have the whole First Amendment thing going on, and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, okay, but we got to do something about it." Well, learn how to better handle yourselves, and maybe something will happen. But I can't do that. It's like you don't know how to better handle yourself. I think we just lost a war there. But I think the problem of it is that personal responsibility is sort of second to none. And I think people keep forgetting is that human beings like the path of least resistance.
Yep.
So, like convenience of use, or ease of use, convenience of things, all this stuff. It's you may be a lot of people who have issues with Apple, but at the end of the day, Apple is easy to use to many, and so it's just ping ping boom, right? Like you
Yep.
talk about dopamine hit on just how to easy to use the thing, and it just keeps going every time. That's a dopamine hit.
Well, did you see the videos of infants, like just babies, that were given iPhones and they've been using them, and when you take it away, they show detox signs similar to addiction, similar to like chemical dependencies.
No, but I did see one video where they were trying to put babies with snakes, and I'm like, I'm exiting out of this video real quick. I do not need to see what happens. Oh, look, an infant just got bit. Well, there's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
But I get the discussions for either or, but at the end of the day, I think the only thing you'll be able to do anything on is just having discussions about it, giving your perspective, and then seeing what comes out of it. Because at the end of the day, person's going to use what they're going to use regardless. And
Yeah, genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah, well, genie's out of the bottle. Pandora box has been opened. I mean, this is with almost every technology that's been out there. Like, I've said, I was talking to someone before, it was like, there used to be people who were paid to come and wake you up, and now you have an alarm clock. What happened to those jobs?
Yeah.
What happened to the jobs of people who would light the oil lamps to keep the lights on? Now you have LED lights, and not always the greatest.
No.
But a lot of things over time, through human ingenuity, as one could see it, have almost absolutely disappeared. And where are those people clamoring for those jobs back, right? Because again, it all lends it back itself to the new technologies coming up and all this stuff. And yes, you can throw AI in there too, being a part of it. But at the end of the day, over time, over humanity's time, over 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, technology has changed the way we perceive not only how we do things, but it's also gotten quicker. It's also gotten better. The car, right? Henry Ford, the buggy took that over. If you're Amish, you have no worries. But but majority of people nowadays drive a car. Doesn't matter what country you're in. Little different on what side of the road you drive, but that's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is, though, is where are the people clamoring for horse and buggy again? We can have these conversations about the technology of AI and all this stuff coming out, but you do realize that this is just a part of a long chain of human interaction with wanting to progress, to get better, to get quicker, to get faster, all that stuff. It's not stopped. You've not stopped you've not stopped human curiosity. You've not stopped human improvement of how we want to improve ourselves, improve our lives, and all this stuff. We all kept seeing for a while. We all kept seeing the future that Walt Disney put out, right? The future. What was it? The Carousel of the Future, or something like that, where technology would be embedded with our lives to make it better. And there are still people like that, and there are still prospects of that for the future. The issue as it stands, technology will improve, technology will get better, and there will be bad people who will use it, and people will toxify themselves on the technology. It doesn't matter what the technology is. People will toxify themselves on it. Why? Because the current setting of culture, of work, or whatever will demand the use of item. Cell phones didn't used to be a thing back before, like the 70s or 60s, yeah. And now they're a major part of our lives. It used to be you have to go at home and get a phone call there. The internet. The internet used to be dial-up, and good Lord, thank goodness it isn't anymore.
Yeah. Well, have you noticed though with this kind of technology in particular, dystopian science fiction writers have been warning about this for years and years, and like you've got Terminator, that's all built on AI. That was the day the singularity happened and AI took over. You got the Matrix, same story. In fact, there was a video game way back in the late 80s, Phantasy Star 2, the sequel to the first one there. And the story of Phantasy Star 2 is that after 1,000 years after this big calamity or whatever, they built this AI system that gradually took over every facet of life. And it made the people weak and stupid and lazy and, lack of ambition and everything. Cause like they were all cared for by this AI custodian that did everything for them. It even changed a desert planet's climate into a nice, like, verdant, it managed all of the crops so that people didn't even have to labor to eat anymore. All this stuff. And then the kind of the catalyst for the conflict, was what happened when the AI started doing weird shit where like monsters are now being made instead of normal like fauna, like a deer grazing. Now it's this weird like mutant thing that's attacking people. And the robotic cops that the AI created aren't doing their job anymore. So like all these things are happening. The planet's starting to become a desert again. People are like starving, and it's like, well, what do we do? Like, and it's because we became reliant on something that should have been a tool instead of, it being 100% pervasive in anything in our lives. We are so screwed the moment a solar flare hits us and takes out our cell phones and takes out the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the content creators, people who rely on business like yours, like your comic relies on the internet to get your business. If an EMP comes over, your business is done, basically.
Yep.
So that's an understandability. But my thing is, okay, so how much of that future foretold, and of course, like Back to the Future, right? Like the future was supposed to be like 2015 or whatever.
Yeah.
my thing is like, yes, there have been many people who've done like predicting of dystopia, whatever. But what happened? What about the people who predicted like the world's gonna end, right? It's in the same category of that. Like, yes, there is an evil that can come with this, but again, we're talking about a tool, right? Well, you could probably point to like what's that one movie that Pixar did? WALL-E.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody turned into a giant like water baby.
Yeah. but you saw after a certain point that things got better or things changed, that they weren't relying. It was more like a symbiosis, or it became a symbiosis at the very end. So there's that possibility too. Look, the genie is out of the bag, like we said before. Genie paradox, whatever. The point of the matter is, though, is that the possibilities can exist, right? The possibility of the Terminator can exist. The possibility of Meet the Robinsons can exist. That's a Disney movie. The possibility of the WALL-E can exist. They all can exist. The point of the matter, though, is which one's going to come true, and we don't know that because again, progress of humanity, technology has come a long road, and yes, the electronical and all stuff will get faster and whatnot. You could have a matrix and all this stuff, but we don't know, right? So it's no different than what we're trying to do with the new James Webb telescope, exploring the universe and finding things that don't make sense anymore, right? So it is a precipice, and there is a point of taking caution. But if you're afraid to better learn and understand the technology, then it will become the dystopia that you look at and read at and all this stuff. But if you're willing to at least understand the technology and treat it as what it is a tool. Like a gun, if you don't know how to use a gun well, if you don't know how to know to shoot and how to take care of it, it may accidentally kill you.
Yeah.
Again, it at the end of the day is nothing but a tool. I mean, gosh, you could look at all the VO3 stuff that has happened with all the Sasquatch. But again, it's because the tool is shiny and can do all these things, and you have a lot of people who are hungry for that kind of stuff. Again, entertainment is entertainment. It's like sugar, It's like, sure. That's why you see a lot. That falls into the YouTube thing. But anyway, it is the top of the hour. And what I do is I set aside some time for us to promote our things or whatever. And sometimes it's a creator that's on, or non-creator that's on. Sorry, they usually promote or they don't have anything to promote, but they usually say something or what have you. But I did put all your stuff, your website and Twitter X. But if you'd like to promote yourself or sell yourself, as the kid would say, but not like that, the floor is yours, good sir.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a comic book creator. I started this about over 30 years ago, back in 1990. It was originally a tabletop role-playing game system that I had developed. It was part of the library. So basically, my high school treated all of its students like criminals. We had to have like 140 hours of community service, or we wouldn't graduate. Apparently, they don't know what compulsory and volunteer mean, because they used them interchangeably, which was weird. But yeah, the librarian that was at our local library caught wind of what was happening, and she said, you know what, if you can babysit these kids at the library and make sure they don't climb the walls or knock over shelves or something, I'll give you whatever you need for community service hours to graduate. Aww. And I used it as a perfect opportunity to beta test my tabletop role-playing game. And I got a bunch of 10, 11, 12-year-olds who played all the way up until they were like 16, 17. Some of them were even adults when the games ended. Nice. And we ended up having this really, really long adventure for a tabletop game. And I ended up, during the 90s, there was a recession and the library couldn't keep its doors open on the weekends. So what we did was we chronicalized all of the meeting minutes, essentially, of the previous adventure, put it into a nice little recap, and I used to draw pictures for it. And we would charge $5 a month that you'd get the newsletter, Infinitale Chronicles, essentially. And that kept the lights on the weekend. We were able to keep going. That ended up going for about 10 years at different groups here and there. And after I graduated high school and I got into the workforce, I ended up, putting it all aside. Like I said, I was a video game developer for a decade. Flew all around the world: Australia, Japan, various parts of California. And I had this. I had the Infinitale Chronicles just lingering in my one of those storage totes. And eventually, I left the gaming industry and I started getting really depressed around that time. This was like 2014. Where I was like, wow, my dream career blew up in my face, and all of my entertainment, all my hobbies started telling me they no longer wanted me as a customer. These companies started putting in stuff that I just did not want to see. When I think of action and adventure, I don't think of dinner parties or prom. But apparently the people making these products think that way. So I kind of came in that impasse where I was like, do I just continue to complain about how everything's gone to crap, or do I try to do something about it? So I looked over and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to self-publish my tabletop role-playing game. Nice. And at the time, I was talking with one of my buddies who was an engineer over at Blizzard. And we were like, well, how do we, we looked on like Kickstarter and stuff. And we're like, wow, the competition is really, really stiff. This is insane how stiff this is. How do we set ourselves apart? And, conversation started with Warcraft and how World of Warcraft was actually successful before it even launched. Because it already had like a backing and everything from its, all of its previous games and books and stuff. So I was like, okay, I could probably start with screenwriting. So maybe I could do some animation stuff or make TV series or whatever. I remember driving down to Boston. I was part of the Project Greenlight stuff with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and all that stuff. I got a horrible reality check. They're like, no production studio would touch this. It's too big. Maybe if you make it animated or something, they might actually get, a bite. So I cracked open Boom Studio or Toon Boom and Flash and started trying to make my own animated stuff with the screenplay that I had written. And I was like, wow, I do not have the resources to do this. This is going to take forever. And around that time, I started losing full use of my hands. I had something called peripheral nerve damage, and my art days kind of came to an end. So I was like, what am I going to do? And again, that same engineer's like, well, why don't you make comics off of this? So make comics, get people interested in your universe. And then once all the comics are out, that'll act like a historical primer. then you'll have your game. So it's like, here's the stories. Now here's the game world where you can make your own stories, just like the ones you read about.
Mhm.
So I reached out to a guy in California who helped me convert my screenplay into legible comic book art script.
Mhm.
And we have like 10 books worth of stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, in 2016, 2017, we ended up, starting production on the first book. We got it crowdfunded in 2021.
Mhm.
That was Infinitale Chronicles #1. It's a 54-page full color book. We got on to #2. I was originally planning on making it, because we have this huge 10-book series all plotted out. And I'm like, pulling little choppy choppies. I was like, okay, here's 60 pages. This should work for book 2. I sent it out to my proofers, and I got back, this is garbage. The pacing's off. It's not that the story sucks. It's that there's just not enough kind of oomph to it.
Yeah.
So I sent them all of the rest of the book, and we pulled little bits and pieces, moved it all around, made sure all the peaks and troughs, the pacing was right.
Mhm.
And that 60-page book turned into a 120-page book. So book 2 is 120 pages. And it's the story. It's funny, we were talking about like utopia and all that stuff, and that's basically what this is. When I first started this, I didn't have Google. I didn't have all the awesome stuff we have now.
Yeah.
I literally had the Pelham Public Library in Pelham, New Hampshire.
Mhm.
And I plumbed the depths of that library, grabbed old books that were mostly written in English. And I looked into various folklore, because I didn't want to rip off Tolkien. I didn't want to rip off Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't want to be a
Right.
copy of a copy. So I started looking into like ancient folklore, which I would assume is what Tolkien looked into when he was building his world, because
Mhm.
there were things like the Kalevala, which is the Finnish like origins folklore, or the Mabinogia, which is the Welsh.
Yeah.
I even looked into Icelandic myths from the Volsung saga. And, I settled on a lot of very Irish Celtic stuff.
Nice.
And our story is inspired a lot by these folkloric books that I've read. And basically it starts off in this utopian world, the first book, Second Genesis, where you're introduced to these people called the Alfar. It's like this origin of like the fantasy elf race.
Mhm.
And they're basically pretty people with problems. They live in this utopia. They never get old. They never get sick. Consequence-free sex, you name it. They don't have any real impetus to do anything. They're just there,
Yeah.
and they're kind of ruled over in this religiously dogmatic sect of druids, and the druids answer to these gigantic titanic beings. They're referred to as the gods that walk among them. These giant custodial beings that basically dictate their lives for them and tell them how to live and all that stuff. And because the elves are these eternal beings, they never get pregnant. So like there's no need to reproduce if you've lived forever, essentially.
Yeah.
So our story opens where one of our main heroes, and again, the story, it's a generational ensemble cast, but it opens with Queen Aisling, who is the ruler of one of these sovereign sovereignties that are these little cordoned off, like almost like kingdoms, but they're ruled by queens.
Oh.
And they never really see the other lands. They're just kind of cordoned in their own little pen. And well, she ends up getting pregnant. And people are like, what the hell? What is this? What's going on? And it kind of disrupted everything. And again, she's had a perfect life. Everything was utopia, perfect everything. She's got a queen. She's got a loving husband, all this stuff. And part of their religious ceremonies is there's this thing called the harvest, which periodically, because they're eternal beings, they get renewed. Essentially, they get sacrificed to the gods, and they get reborn in one of the other sovereignties or whatever. And they're basically never seen again.
Wow.
And this basically happens, as part of like the religious practices. And after this Aisling here, she gives birth to her kid. Her kid gets named by the druids. That's how they're I guess their culture is, where the priests name their kids. They don't get a chance to name them. And kid gets named, and on his naming day, his name gets drawn for the harvest. And it's like, wait a minute, he's a baby. He hasn't even lived like all these ages, like, to be renewed. Like, this is unfair. Like, how does a baby get drawn into this? And they're like, well, it's the will of the gods. You do what they're told. And she's like, hell no. Like, this is my kid. And suddenly all the cracks started showing in their utopia. And then they learned that, this is like they've discovered a second Genesis. Everything they've been told is a lie, even their origins. And they start learning kind of like what exactly, what they are, what these gods really are.
Mhm.
And stuff starts happening, and stuff really bad starts happening. So if you like fantasy elves, you'll like this story. But if you hate fantasy elves, you'll really like this story because these guys get messed up.
Jeez. And I thought the elves in The Witcher were bad. Well, that's the funny thing too, is because Andrew Zukoski kind of drew from the Celtic and all that sort of stuff too.
Oh,
for
yeah.
his, so it's interesting that we draw from it's sort of like when Marvel drew from Norse mythology for Thor and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. But yes, his links are here. You can go give a look. Of course, there's his website one down there, and of course, they're on both ends, both Rumble and YouTube. I do try to post on both ends because I'm not a one-person platform. But beyond that scope, you can give it a look, see if it's worth a follow. Because I know some people say like, "Oh, go follow this person," whatever. But like, no, if your work speaks for itself, it doesn't need me saying it. It just needs you. Oh, see, look, there you go. Miss Sparkle says I would read that. Well, you can go to the website, and it's the path is led to there. So, but yeah, thank you for that. And of course, we'll continue on, but I'm going to get to my end of things also.
Sweet.
But if you're on the Rumble side or the YouTube side, if you don't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated, because at the end of the day, not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, it also helps in having other people on, like Chris and like Lord of the Ree and like like Yarnwish that we saw earlier, like so many other people. Again, I've had on over 200 various guests, whether creator or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is people taking up the opportunity to just come on and just talk about whatever, which you saw an hour an hour of it, but we're at a little over 2 marks. So but at the end of the day, it's why I do it, because I didn't really see any much else from other content creators. So it is what it is. But yeah, I enjoy getting to do it. I'd rather do it my full-time job, but I'd rather not have to rely on content creation in order to pay my bills, because that's messy in its own right. So any help with the engagement factor on either end is much appreciated. And hold on, give me 1 second. And of course, I have a link as well. I try my best. Well, you're lovely in your own right. I have a link down below on either end. You can go there. I'll be, my Twitter X is in there, my email's in there, my link to Discord's in there, but it's mostly for DMing. I don't run a server. I don't have that much mental bandwidth, so I'm not going to try that. But again, those are the places you can find me at there. And of course, one more thing. Of course, where is it at? Oh, of course, I am part of Rumble's creator program, and I just did it to see if I could do it. No big ordeal, but I also a while back had saw a post on X from the company Proton, which they have Proton Mail, Proton VPN, all that stuff, and they were advertising, this thing about people joining their partner program. And so I just again entered in it thinking, I might not get it or not, and it's just mostly to see if I could do it. And got the reply back like 24 hours later saying you're in. And I'm like, are you sure about that? So there's that. But yeah, so yeah, I do make something from it if I ever do make something from it. But I mostly promote this because of the benefits I see in it for other people. Of course, I'm posting a link down below for all. You can go there, you can check it out for yourself. They have a bunch of different things of saying what it is, but a few things I mentioned is one is that they allow you to use an alias email. So basically what that means is that you can use an alias email they'll give you, and you can take that to, whenever a company tells you to sign up or whatever, you can use that. And if that company decides to get a little spammy, a little too much for you, you can just turn that off or delete it.
Nice.
And you won't get anything from them anymore. You won't get anything from, because it's not your actual email. It's just a little thing that redirects back to your actual email. So that's one thing they offer. Another thing they offer is protecting their people from a lot of spam. Now, obviously, it's a rare one where spam gets through, and sometimes things that aren't spam, depending on how things go, can get in your spam folder. But at the end of the day, they do a pretty good job of trying to keep a majority of spam uh, out of, I'd say like 90, maybe 97 to 98% of spam doesn't go into your thing. You never see it. I have AOL, I have Gmail, I have iCloud. The amount of spam that's in the junk folder or in the regular inbox, whatever, is insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. And Proton does a pretty great job of that. So you might get a one or two on a blue moon that sneaks through, but they'll usually say like this may be phishing or so and so or whatever. And so that's another way to help out with that. And another thing they help out with too is that your inbox is your inbox, right? You know, there are a lot of free email options out there where they will scan your inbox to try to get like targeted ads, whatever. Proton doesn't do that. Your inbox is your inbox. That's it. So from those three things, and of course you can go to the link and see more. They do offer a free account, make a free account, or you can do a little more by paying. Like on the paid ones, you can make a domain name. You can do unlimited email aliases, so much other stuff. At the end of the day, I promote it because I use the product, I believe in it. And of course, if people remember, a long time ago, there used to be a gentleman by the name of Billy Mays, right? Billy Mays here. That's how he would do his thing, for OxyClean. But the point of the matter is that he at one point said, I wouldn't promote a product I didn't use. I use this product. I see the benefits it may provide for others, especially when you have spam to deal with, scam stuff. It is insane how much of that is out there, and a lot of people get taken by it, and they lose a lot of money. There's a YouTube channel out there called Payback Scammers, and their channel is filled with nothing but showing how some groups in India call over America. Yeah, basically. Yeah, they call over to America and they prey on the elderly and the weak, and they try to get thousands of multi-billions of dollars have been lost through fraud and stuff like that, the spam stuff. So that's why you always read your email first. If you aren't sure, always check it over. I use like Claude to kind of check it over. But at the end of the day, he uses AOL. There's some people who still use AOL. Hey,
Welcome.
Galaxy Red. Yeah, and Galaxy Red, he uses Proton. He has a free account. No
Nice.
one uses. I still do, but it's only a rare occasion. But again, go to the link, check it out. If it's worth it to you, that's great. Again, doesn't cost you anything to look at it. But I promote it because I believe in it, and I believe it can be a benefit for a lot of different people. Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of people are sick and tired of getting so much spam mail. They wish they could use something that could be like a in between them and a company, so that, like I said, if a company gets a little spammy, guess what? Turn that off. Don't get anything from them again. So you can go to, and there's a bunch of other things they say there too, but I'm just giving the few that I know could be very beneficial. So give it a look. If it's not worth it to you, that's fine. Again, I'm just promoting because I believe in it, and that's that. So, and of course, the last thing I'll do, because I am putting it out there. You are crazy. Well, you know what, young lady? You're here watching me, so I guess that makes it crazy too. And I thank you for that. But also, last thing I do is a while back I had been doing. I'm on Rumble and I'm YouTube, but I've been doing these survey sort of things on Rumble. Trying to collect people's feedback data on just finding out, what they think of the platform, what they think, what issues they're having, wish list stuff really of what they're having on Rumble. And of course, I did like three big a big survey each month a few months back, but because fatigue and stuff, I had to pull back, and I'm doing now questions of the month with a quarterly big survey. And so this question of the month is on Rumble support. So if you've ever had to use Rumble support, or if you've ever had to deal with Rumble support, or just been on Rumble in general, that will take you to a question. Just one question, take you about less than a minute, but only if you use Rumble in any form of fashion. because I'm not. If you don't, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But again, trying to collect that feedback, trying to clear the fog on how people see things and whatnot, and yeah, and it's just trying to turn a frustration into a positive, and so that's what I'm trying to do. But it's going to be up until next Wednesday, the 25th. So hurry fast if you haven't done it already. Okay, question of the month. Yes, question of the month. But that's in this. That's in the link. It's not something I want to ask. It's already being asked. It's just somewhere else. And someone once told me, like, why don't you use the poll thing on Twitter X? Like, I don't really have a favorable light to look on Twitter X, and I have a reason for that. But anyway, that's all. I'm done with that stuff. We'll go on for a little longer, and then we'll call it, because I do want to get to enjoying the weekend. Not that I don't love you guys, and not that I wasn't looking forward to having you on, Chris, even though I was like, am I going to get the art director on this one? Or
Yeah. Well, I wear many hats.
Hey, Chris the art master, Chris the photographer, Chris the director. At a certain point, it's just going to be Chris the, and that's going to be it. But and it's kind of a sadder deal when you're trying to, you want to promote your comic. I'm like, hey, let's talk about gaming. Like, son of a bit.
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm happy to chat, man. Like, I'll tell you, as an indie creator, the impossible barrier of customer apathy it's insurmountable. Anybody that's even willing to have me on their platform just for me to even mention my product, I'm super grateful for. So I appreciate that. I'm not like, I don't feel entitled to anybody's money. I don't feel entitled to anybody's platform or time. This has been fun, dude. I've had a blast.
Where's my money? Where's my wallet at? So help me now. You wanted money, I'll give it to you. No, and I again, like I said earlier, I do this thing because there are so many different people out there with so many different perspectives. Of course, there are bad actors out there too, and I really don't want anything to do with them. I most likely am trying to change it. I'm trying to call them destroyers, because all they want to do is destroy. Chris's sparkles sim. Oh my. Whoa. Well, hello. Now we know how this show is really gonna end. But no, I just enjoy doing this thing because, like I said before, I didn't see a lot of the creators do it. It's a freeing avenue when there's no requirement for you to know anything. You don't have to be an expert in anything, but you can bring something to the table that you are an expert in, right? Like the gaming stuff, right? Okay, maybe we won't go as far as saying expert, but you know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say I'm an expert. Here's the sad point.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's an expert in that industry.
They get paid like it, though, don't they?
Oh my God, do they? Yeah, and it just goes to show when you get these crap games coming out, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, I thought you were the expert. Why is this game so garbage?
Yeah, right? It's insane, but for me, it's very freeing. It allows the other person just to be, because the only requirements ever asked is like, hey, you have to have a mic, respectful, and then like, don't say any big gamer words, because that's usually like because of YouTube or whatever. But I've had somebody drop like the bundle of 6 words, so I haven't been canceled yet.
But British cigarettes,
yeah, or sausage. There's another
part.
But it's just like I can't sit here and after telling you I've had it over 200 varied guests and say, oh yeah, I'm done with that. That's insane to me. I can't walk away from it because of the limitless opportunity this thing is. This is limitless. This is limitless. It's only limited by the people who don't want to come on. And I've been told no a few times before. And again, like I said, I've been blocked by a few people I've had on as guests, and they don't say anything to me. And
wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I thought we were adults here. You could at least like a private DM would have been nice, but when you just up and leave, and I've got no way of recourse, right? Like if something's done wrong, you at least want to repair it or figure out what it is so you can be better next time. But there's nothing, and I'm just like, I've had no inkling of wrong to you or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just blocking me because of reason. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. But for every one person that does that, I've got like a dozen other people behind that, and I'm just like, that's where the limitless comes in. Right? and I just can't walk away from it because there's just so much potential with it. And just like with you in games, or you with your I am the expert. Well, I will leave that to you. I will leave that to you because you got the brains for it. But I just can't. It's like with with your stuff in the comic. You're doing something you enjoy, and it's just like if you were to ask to do something else, like I don't know what else I would do, because there's just so much here, and leaving that would just be atrocious to its own right.
Yeah. Dude, well, not only that, but like I think it was Louis C.K., the comedian, was mentioning it, where it's like, do you realize how freaking awesome a time we live in is, like, right now?
Mm.
Like, we can fly anywhere in the world for like 48 hours, This is a long way from it taking months just to cross a
Yeah.
country or whatever on horse, carriage. But like in the, when I was in high school,
No worries.
oh, I was like, uh-oh.
If it happens to you, you just refresh the page. You'll be fine.
All right. But like when I was in high school, like I remember AOL came into power, and it was like, dude, I'm talking to people in California, man, and I'm over here in New England, Like,
wow.
Yeah, like that. Now, look at this. Like what we're doing. I used to talk to people out of state, and I would get like a 1 second delay.
Yeah.
Now we're like, live streaming.
Yeah. Well, again, through this, I've talked to people from Australia, from Norway, from the Swedes. I've spoken. If you're rich, I guess it's awesome. Well, I'm not rich, but I guess there's a rich and like richness and of the opportunity, but rich and like money, I'm poor.
Yeah,
but
same here.
but I mean, for me, it's just I've gotten to speak to English speakers, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and say I know Espanol, because it's not going to work out.
Oh.
Yeah.
¿Por
qué?
Yeah.
¿Por qué? That's about as good as you can get. But it is, with, again, going back to the technology thing, it is so amazing. Well, right now, how I see this is, with all the guests and stuff, I see it as sort of like getting to share like this infinitesimal moment right here, right? It's like a grain of sand amongst some other grains of sand. I get that little grain of sand right there with the other person. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Some people, like I said, trying to draw water from stone, all this stuff. But for a moment in time, we get that little grain of sand where we cross each other's paths. And that may lead to something more. That may be Lord times together and so on. Or it may just be the one time. You never know. But that one grain of sand is the difference. Because it is. It's like you never know when tomorrow may be your last. And we have so much crap that's out there and all this stuff. Some idiot tries to rob you and all that or whatever. It's just fantastic to me, because I feel like I'm standing at the precipice of the limitless opportunity, and other people like, what is that? And I'm just like, it almost drives me insane up the wall, because I'm like, I can't be the only one who sees this. I can't. But you know how it goes. Perspectives are different and all that stuff. But like, I mean, for your go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just want to add, like, the perspective, like a lot of people, like we are conditioned to have, I don't want to say the wrong perspective, but we're so focused on what we don't have that we fail to see what we do have. Like, dude, I grew up in the 70s, man. One of my earliest memories in life was when I think I was about 3 years old, and I was waiting in the car with my mother, and we were waiting in queue at the gas station, and the gas station ran out of gas.
Wow.
Our car ran out of gas, and we had to walk home 3 miles. Yeah, like that sucked. But you think about it, and it's like now it's like you've got Uber, you've got like you could, like, we had payphones to rely on, and if that payphone was out of order, guess who's walking home? That's what happened. My mom tried to call my dad, like, hey, the car ran out of gas, can you come and pick us up? And it was like out of order. So it was like, if we had cell phones, it would have been, hey, come and pick me up, like. But that, and we probably would have had a better understanding of which gas station was running out of gas at which time, and we wouldn't have even been in that predicament. But you know what I mean? Just like there's so many times we focus on things that are bad that we kind of miss out on the good things,
Yeah.
And life can be crap, dude. But
but it doesn't have the viewpoint doesn't have to remain that way, because that kind of lends itself to, people kind of ending the train early. And it's kind of sad when you kind of hear that, because you don't understand what they go through and all that stuff. And for me, I've you go to the dark places sometimes, but with growing up and growing out and all this stuff, I realized, like, you only get the one shot.
Yep.
This is basically it. You only get the one shot.
Yeah.
But it gives you an infinite amount of opportunities to change.
Mhm.
How fascinating is that? That right now you and I can sit here and say, I, as I'm alive, get to change.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, is because change is a paradox. Change is constant, but the word itself is change. It's constant change. And those are two paradoxical words, because constant is straightforward, doesn't change, doesn't do anything. And yet it's followed by change.
Yeah.
That's it is crazy. But I think the point of the matter is that it's being able to, when things get you down, or when things beat you up, sort of, it's being willing to say, sort of like that the first of the Nolan trilogy of the Batman series, where Alfred asks Bruce, like, why do we fall down? It's in order to pick ourselves up.
Yeah.
That right there is a quintessential step to saying, you know what, I got hit, so what? I can at least, for the life of me, stand up and keep walking. Because when you, and most people, and this is where that sort of thing people don't see either, is if you've never ever stopped at a retirement home, or you've never seen what it looks like when you're 80 or 90, some people are still moving at that point. Dave Van Dyke is 99 and he's still moving and grooving like a crazy man.
I know, I'm
right?
jealous.
But not everyone gets that.
I don't think I'll see that.
Well, don't sell yourself short, unless you're like unless you're like under 5 feet, then you're already short as enough. But the point of the matter is that you're alive, and that presents itself with more opportunity than you possibly could imagine. There's a man out there right now who has no arms, no legs, and yet is a I don't know if they call him a presentation speaker or motivational speaker, out there right now telling people, hey, look what I got. You got more than I do.
Yeah.
I get it. Sometimes life brings you down and you need a moment, but don't forget, you are alive. And it's easy. It is easier said than done. It is. But that's where this conversational part comes from, where you get to sit down with someone and say, hey, what's going on? Right? Like, what's this thing? And when you can, when you sharpen your skills about listening or stuff like that, especially in the conversational space, you can get better at being able to at least know when it's best to answer and know when it's best not to.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it's just fascinating that over time you kind of learn that as long as you're alive, you have the infinite amount of chances to change, but you have to want it too. And that sucks, because people get to a point where they no longer want it. And that sucks even worse. And that sucks even worse. And it's so sad when you hear about those stories of those things. And, if one's been there or been close to that point, always remember, as long as you're able to walk, as long as you're able to stand, as long as you're able to at least breathe air, you have the possibility of change. And that is infinitesimal. That is boundless. That is limitless. And that's why I do this show, because I know of it. So, but that again, that's what makes me look like the crazy person. So, but no, but I'm going back to the original stuff. Like I know people like yourself, you're trying to get your stuff out there. But I do. That's why I do like that hour point thing, is because of just of all the stuff you go by through when you're not paying attention to what you're talking about, and it's just like, what was I doing for the past hour? I was talking about birds and two birds in a bush or something like that. I don't know where that guy am anymore. But that's the fun, though. That's the fun, and that's why I continue to enjoy doing it. It still has its challenges. Like, oh yeah, whatever, Miss Sparkles. That's all right. But it's just fantastic to me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd rather do this more, but I'd rather continue to enjoy it than burn yourself out. And I'm pretty sure, like, for making the comic, I'm pretty sure there are moments where you probably feel or feel like you're gonna be burnt out too. I don't
Oh
know,
God, yeah.
but
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like, I'm an indie comics creator with an unproven product. Even though I have one book out, I'm a nobody. I'm not a name. Nobody knows Chris Fisk. Nobody knows what I've done. And quite frankly, nobody cares, and they don't need to. But like, what I'm hoping to do is make a product that people actually enjoy, people want more of, and the return on investment is very minimal at this stage because, again, it's unproven. So it's asking people to part with their money during this terrible time in our economy to take a chance on a creator they don't know anything about. They know I'm a guy that has a weird laugh and I talk about really weird stuff. Like, but you know what I mean? Like as far as like my book goes, like, I provide previews so you can actually go on the crowdfunding page or whatever and read 15-page previews or whatever. But like, there are points when you're like, wow, I'm like recently there was a guy who had a $30,000 campaign and he just like yeeted out. He's just like, thanks for the free money, boink, gone.
What?
Yeah, and that seems to be a very common thing. The bigger the campaigns, they leave these black eyes on the smaller creators. I'm not even making I'm not even making half that, or whatever. And I don't really care. Like I just want people to enjoy like the story. We're all apes screaming in the darkness. Like this is my shout. I want to tell a story before when I'm gone. I want to have something left behind there. It's like, wow, this is a really good story, or oh, maybe we can make a movie out of this, or maybe remake it or whatever. But like, there's a good story in there, like it's over 30 years old. Like I started this as a 12-year-old. I'm now in my 50s.
Wow.
So yeah, there's something there. And all this time while this was happening, yeah, it is that constant, like, is this worth it? Am I just wasting my money? I'm like, are people humoring me? Is this just crap?
Yeah.
But like, I've actually, I've had return investors. I've had people who backed the first book upsell. So they went from, buying like the standard edition or like one book to like buying like the ultimate book or whatever in the second campaign. So that as a business person tells me, okay, this person actually liked this product. So there is reinforcement there, but yeah, there's always that like, well, why, how come nobody cares? Like, how come, like, I feel like everywhere I'm shouting, I'm like bothering people when I'm talking about my book.
Yeah. That's understandable too, because I mean, as an example, like, I'm not a person like selling stuff or whatever, because I was once asked like, why wouldn't you have a merch store? I'm like, well, I don't know what I would sell. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna. There's already so many content creators out there that sell so many products. It's like, at the end of the day, what would be the point? I just, there are already ways to support me, so just do that. But yeah, I can. Yeah, the hearing of someone just doing a fundraiser for a comic and they just leave off the money, that's horrendous.
Yeah, right. And it's happened quite a bit now. This is like the second one that I'm aware of.
That's when when they complain about the bad guys getting away and how they should be hanged.
Yeah, it just hurts the little guys.
Yeah.
Customers are like, well, if the big guys can't fulfill, what chance do I get from these nobodies?
Yeah, he can't keep up with products. Why should?
Yeah, well, I mean, think of yourself as a customer. Like, if big name brand, you try to buy the product and it never ships.
Yeah.
What's your likelihood to go to like the no name generic brand?
That's where I believe show it, not say it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show it, not say it. Because you have a lot of people. Again, you're gonna have a lot of people who want comics and doing like Find My Comic, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all this stuff.
Mhm.
That it's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's where the difference of showing, not saying, I feel works, because your work, right? The physicality of your work is now complete and it shows. You can show a timeline, you can show stuff, because you can take. It doesn't matter what it is. There's so much lip service around the technology part, around that part, all this stuff. There's so much lip service. It's like, you're right. Why would people trust that? Then you don't give any more lip service. You show. You show.
Yep.
You give a quick little rundown, boom, done. And then you say, we're working on it, bam, right into it. It'll take time, sure, and that's where you do like updates and stuff. But you show the work, because that overrides that little thing in the brain that says, oh, just because that guy did it, he's gonna do it. No. You showed the work and said, wait a second, that big guy did it, but then this little guy over here didn't even do all that stuff that big guy did, and he got his stuff out.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Well, that, and like when I crowdfund something, I'm crowdfunding a proof of concept. Like my book is already printed; it's already out.
Yeah.
I have a physical copy in my hand before I even ask people for money.
Wow.
Whereas a lot of these people treat it as I have an idea, fund me, and I'll get this thing out in like a year or so.
Mm-mm.
And as a customer, because I also back comics,
Wow.
and I'm like, I would rather have somebody have this thing either done or mostly done, or something where it's like you actually have a viable product that you're selling, rather than I have an idea. Because when I worked in video game development as a designer, the I have an idea phrase is completely worthless. It's like that and a quarter will get you nothing,
I have an idea. Shut it down. Shut it down right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I really think that if you have something worth wanting to show and be seen, then you show it. Don't say it. Because like you were saying, some of these big guys, they ruin it for the smaller, but that's where the smaller can prove themselves worth it by not saying it, but showing it. And but yeah, it just sucks because, again, like you said, it just ruins it for everybody. And it's like with anything in life, right? This one person at work does this one thing, and then now everyone can't take advantage of it because that idiot did the one thing he wasn't supposed to do. But he's like, I didn't read the rules. And you're like, dude, it's on a sign with bold letters that say, don't do this thing. How much of a moron are you? And he's just like, I didn't know it was there. And it's like, oh, good Lord. But that's, it sucks. And at the end of the day, I wish only nothing but misfortune. May they trip over a fortune cookie and find that it says boo you. May they find that it says boo you. That's all you deserve. But yeah, I'm not into the comic ordeal. The only comic book I've ever read was it was like a Sonic one, but that was a long time ago.
Oh, the Archie ones.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember I don't even have it anymore. It was so long ago. That's how you know. But I don't even read manga either very much anymore either, because it's just, I do this thing and it takes up a big chunk of my time, as much as my full-time job takes a big chunk of my time. I'm like,
oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd rather do that than fill it with the nonsensicalness of just of all the stupidity that comes with the content creator sphere. Dear Lord. I may be in it, but dear Lord, I am not of it. All right.
The drama.
Well, it's not just that. It's just it's the whole sphere of the content creator sphere, whether it be content creators, as a video or comics, whatever. The idiocy of it is you have a bunch of people who call themselves adult who can't handle it in some dull fashion away from prying eyes. No. You've got the likes, you've got the links, you've got the views, you've got all that stuff, because monetization, to a degree, has transformed the way people make content. That's not all people, let's make that very clear, not all people, but a big chunk of people live or die by the numbers given to them from the algorithm. And I'm mostly talking YouTube.
Yep. Yeah. The chasing the algorithm it's kind of it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, oh yeah, the bigger, more successful you get or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're not even making content you want to make anymore because you got to get it out. Oh, I missed a day. The algorithm's gonna punish me. The algorithm, and it's like, dude, like, work-life balance, like.
I like you like, and then I was like, oh boy, they come through and they tell me I'm done. Good Lord.
Do I have some spilkers in my connector? Like, yeah.
Why is this thing looking like it's on fire? The water spilt and this is good. Hey.
Oh, it hurt me very terribly, but not physically. And then I fell out of my shoes.
I'm just seeing more Goldmort from Family Guy.
Never again. Oh boy.
I got such bad allergies. Oh, my allergies. I go outside and the pollen just clogs up my nose. Oh, Lord.
Hold on. I'm sorry I'm late. I was checking my stool for blood.
Oh, man. That's how you go about it. But yeah, it just... I can't. I came into this thing so naive of what that content creator sphere is, and I'm over here just to build my sandcastle and invite people along who want to come along, but to understand that all that other shite stank.
Yeah,
it stank. It's sort of like that song by the old song by Outkast. It's about, but your rose don't stank and all that stuff, and it's just. I can't. I came into this thing because there was something here that said, come follow me, because there's more opportunity here than you'll ever realize. And I keep getting bogged down by people shite with each other on the back end, mind you, more personal or whatever. I had one ordeal where I invited somebody on, and all of a sudden another person I wanted to invite on had some hidden background area with this person. I had known nothing about it. And all of a sudden I'm like, I lose this ability to have this person on because they don't want to come on because this person has this thing going on against their friends and all this sort of stuff. I'm just, who the fudge cares?
Yeah, children, you're both awful.
I'm here for I don't know how long, and your little I get there's some big adult things behind the scenes, but I'm not here for I don't know how long. And your little quims and drama quips and whatever it is don't mean shite to me, because I'm trying to do something that has more value, more worth than gold or silver combined, and you're giving me your childish crap. What is this anymore?
Yeah.
What is the content creator sphere? What is it?
Yeah.
I sit here wanting to create something that has more value than anything, and I get adults just on the back and the private end alone, and yeah, you should handle that privately, of course, all that stuff. But the dumb idiocy is I have adults believing they're adults and they're not handling like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had some person I had on before as a guest, and another person that this issue was about this whole ordeal of something else that happened long ago that had nothing to do with, and all of a sudden, this person on someone else's channel, not theirs, but they were modding that channel, they decided for a split second to use their modding power to ban me temporarily. Whoa. And I'm just like, what? Just because of this? What? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just curious why you got banned.
Well, it's over some ordeal about someone else's issues that has nothing to do with the person's channel of which I was going to watch on. Great person, whatever. But hey, thank you, Nora. Nice to see you, good sir. I hope you're doing well. And of course, gay again. Yes, I know. But the thing was,
Mrs. Sparkles doesn't like it.
That's all right. She can sit there and watch, and she'll be a pretty lady to do it. Because she's lovely. But it was just like this whole ordeal that has nothing to do with the person who you're modding for. You decided to abuse your modding powers for something so infinitesimal that has nothing to do with this person's channel. and you decided to abuse those powers. How dumb can you get for a person that does some smart things sometimes? How dumb can you get where you abuse your mining powers on someone else's channel for something that has nothing to do with that person's channel, and you're doing it against me because you don't agree with something? Who gives a shite?
Yeah.
Who gives?
Yeah.
I understand the circumstances surrounding of what they had issue with, and that's fine. I get it. But when it has nothing to do with the person's channel you're modding on, you're doing the dumbest thing on earth. I'm just gonna call it. You're doing the dumbest thing on earth, and you expect me to listen to you to some degree and act like I'm still an adult. I'm sorry to tell you, you did the most childish thing on earth, and I don't care. I don't care. I have more opportunity than you through this thing, and you want to play childish games with me. Guess what? It doesn't make sense to me anymore. I'm sitting here. I'm not perfect. I'm going to say that. I'm not perfect. But I have to sit here and I have to deal with adults crap because they can't get over themselves and they can't do at least something of similar of just having a conversation. Let's have a conversation, please. Let's sit down somewhere for once and let's just talk it out. But we don't because we're all caught up in our own little spheres. I did this thing also to break those spheres. I don't give a rat's behind about any niche spheres. I will break them all. I will claim them all because this thing allows me to do more than I possibly could imagine, and I have to deal with children's crap.
Yeah. Well, it's like in school. Like for me personally, I sat with everybody at the lunch table.
Mhm.
You know, I had jock friends, nerd friends, skater friends, goth friends, band geek friends. You know, I didn't. Maybe I just didn't fit into any of the groups, but I thought I did because I had friends in all of them. You know, we all hung out separately.
Yeah.
But there are those people where it's like, oh, you hang out with the goths, but you don't dress like one. I'm like, yeah, so I'm not a goth. Well, then why do you hang out with them? Because I got friends that are cool that just happen to be goth. Like, I didn't realize I needed a reason other than that. Like,
they're human too.
Yeah.
What? The funny thing is, I've had someone who's very goth-like, but she's very libertarian. So, but that's more of a political thing that I don't care about. Yeah, but I've had someone who is goth. But yeah, it's like Nero says, but drama is gay. No, drama is dumb. Drama in this sphere, the whole of the content creator sphere, is as childish as it is sad, as it is pathetic, as it is very not moving forward. It's not progressive. I mean, I'm sure someone's gonna say it's progressive in the sense of like that whole political thing, but I don't give a rat's behind. It's not progressive at all. It doesn't lead anywhere positive.
Yeah, it's social sodomy.
See, well, to themselves, which is another story altogether. But it's like I feel like, and I made a short of this a while back, is like when people step into the sphere, they want, and you're going to be signing up for stuff that you don't even know you're signing up for, and that's part of the ordeal. Sorry to tell you, but I'm like, if you're going to come into the content creator sphere, no matter what it is, like for your stuff or my stuff or gaming or whatever, you need to have a core reason of why you are doing this thing right off the bat. You can't joke about this thing. I know maybe a minuscule of people will get away with not having to deal with any drama at all, but you're going to follow somebody. You're going to be friends with somebody, and you're going to be cross the line you didn't even know was there, and it's going to drop you like on the A-bomb, and you might be in a position where you give up because you don't want to deal with it. And I understand that. I understand that. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's dumb, it's stupid, it doesn't get anywhere, it doesn't help anyone, it doesn't bring forth any positivity people want to talk about on any level. The niches, the clicks, I give a rat's behind about all those fears because I can do something that beats all those fears. You want to know what it is? It's meeting people on the ground floor, having a conversation about whatever, and just going from there.
Yeah.
People forget how powerful that is. On the most simplest plane of level, can I do more good than the people who say they're doing good?
Yeah.
Silly as it sounds, but that's what it is. And sorry for my rant, but but it does kind of lend itself when you just kind of like I don't care about your kids' play. I don't care about the playground anymore. I'm doing something that has more importance.
Yeah.
And I will bring anyone along who wants to come along with, because you want to know why? You want to know why? Because once you get a taste of that, that surmountable freedom where you're able to create, and yes, you'll have to deal with adult things, but that's life, where you're able to create and you're able to connect and you're able to converse with and all sorts of things. The 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 amount of everything within that is so amazing, that all those little chirpy birds who complain and whatever about drama or whatnot, they all just slip away, because the
Yeah.
one thing the one thing they can't do is move on
Yeah.
and let go.
Yeah. Well, that, and it's easier to tear down than it is to create.
That is true. Plus, again, monetization kind of lends itself
Yeah.
to that route. I'm not saying it's not a wholly bad thing, because people do. If you make something good and people want to give you something for it, you should have that opportunity. But the problem of it is that once monetization became a thing, right? We saw all this with Twitter X. We all saw this with Twitter X when they got monetized. You got nothing but bait posts, engagement posts, and you got falsicities that didn't make sense. Why do people create? Why do they want to create? I've come across people who've given me real good reasons, and then I've seen others where it just doesn't make any sense. Have a reason. Have a real good reason why you want to do this thing. Because I'm telling you now, if you aren't ready for the drama, if you aren't ready for the accidental points that will come your way, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. And I will keep saying that till the end of my days, because I have met a lot of great people. Some people have thrown me out of their boats, but that's fine, whatever. The door's always open. But at the end of the day, I know where I stand. I know what sandcastle I'm building. And that's really all that matters to me, because I have more opportunity than I ever thought realizing when first getting into this. And I'll be darn sure to keep going with it.
Yeah.
So, but it is the top of the hour again. And of course, we're going to start winding out, because it is getting at a time. And I really like sleeping in for the weekend. So there's that.
Me too.
But before we go, we'll do the whole promotion stuff again. Oh, why am I on that? I forgot I was on the wrong side. I was like, why am I over there? I've been over it for a long time. We're gonna do promotion stuff, and then we'll kind of do a few other things, and then we'll get out of here. But if you want to, Neuro, if you can bring up Sandy's using cement, good stuff. Sandy's using cement. What? Oh, good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Neuro, if you want to bring up his links, please. I know I posted them before, but if you bring up his links, but if you want to promote yourself again, good sir, the floor is yours.
Sure. Thanks, man. Yeah. So, Infinite.
Nope. He'll be back. He'll be back. Just refresh. There we go. There we go. He's back. Hold on. He's got to get his mic going. He was right there. He was like at the beginning. It was valiant. It was amazing, and then he just leaped out of existence. Oh, he's back now.
Yeah, I was like, surprise.
There we go. Now he's back for round 2. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have no idea what happened, but
it's the same thing that happened to me earlier. So there's that.
Yeah, it's just like boop. What was I gonna say?
Promote your stuff.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Infinitale Chronicles is a graphic novel series. We're currently on book 2, funding on Indiegogo. The project's been pretty successful. We're fully funded, so the book is definitely it's already made. We're sitting at, I think it was like 554% of our funding goal. So this is being made. And again, we're actually releasing 3 books in the series. Or I should say 3 editions of the same book too. We're conducting an experiment of the 3 books, whichever one gets back the most. As we can see here, we got a little scoreboard here. Whichever one gets back the most at the end of the funding phase, that'll be the future of the series moving forward. And on the actual campaign page, I'm a firm believer in try before you buy because I don't want any surprises. And in the business world, there's a term called churn, which is when somebody feels disappointed in the product that they purchased and they want a refund, or they just back out altogether and tell everybody to not buy your product because it sucks.
Yeah.
I would rather have a no sale, meaning I'm just not interested in this, than a churn. So I give free previews of the book, 15 pages. You can basically flip through it, whatever, and there's a little download thing here, so you can download the PDF and read it whenever you want. And on the website of Infinitale Chronicles, you can actually get the first book preview as well. We also have the alternate art edition, which is same 120 pages, but it's done by a different art team that's closer to the European bande dessinée style. So that's kind of one of our options that we're providing. We also have a black and white manga edition that's read from right to left. And it's basically, it combines both books 1 and 2. So if it's out on the first book, you get a chance to play catch up and read book 1 and book 2 in the right to left manga format. In addition to that, we also still have some limited quantities of the original book, or you can go onto Amazon.com and grab the retail version of book 1. There's a bunch of cool perks as well, some add-on stuff. We got a world map on canvas, trading cards, and some special holofoil cards that may or may not be in there. Larger cards, some acrylic magnets that are done in like a 16-bit character sprites, because I was a big fan of like Sega Genesis RPGs back in the day, things like Shining Force and stuff like that. So you get an artist's pixel art interpretation of that. It's a nice little collector box. You can get the cheaper versions of the book on digital, just the PDF, starting at $5 a piece. So you can get all 3 of the editions together for $12. So a little bit of a discount if you grab them all in one bundle. And here are the first prints of book 1. We got a nice 2-sided poster of the variant covers, acrylic standees, some more large holofoil cards. Here we can see the books are actually printed. They're real books. I'm not selling an idea. I'm not selling something that won't actually ever be made. It's already made. They come in these nice collector boxes, depending on how much you back. So you get a cool collector box stuff. We've met all 3 of these stretch goals. So in addition to receiving that receiving the physical book, you'll also get a cool double-sided bookmark that has a little decoder for a foreign language that the heroes encounter that they don't understand. You can actually kind of translate what R2-D2 is saying, essentially. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah.
We have most crowdfunding campaigns actually have like 40-page books or smaller. Well, the stretch goal we unlocked here is a free black and white 40-page preview book of book 3. So not only do you get book 1 when you book 2 when you back, but you also get a preview of book 3, 40 pages black and white. And then we get this awesome mini art book. So if you backed any of the bundles, like this 2-book bundle here, or the book and card bundles, you get a cool little, what they call an ash can, which is kind of like a little mini digest-sized art book. And just to give a little bit of a preview here, what it contains is basically some art. So I don't know why that's taking forever to. There we go. So you get some of the character concepts.
Wow.
You can go through. So this book is about 70 pages, I think. We got all the covers in here. There's some. I think there's actually. Where is it? We get into kind of the steps and process of some of the art. We got promotional art. Where is it? We got some risque art in there. Don't worry, it's PG-13. It's not going to hurt the channel.
Look, there's a fire over there. Don't worry about it.
Jazz hands. we got some product design stuff. That's kind of my specialty as a graphic designer. We got some logo designs here. We got some figurines that came with we sold out of these, but these were given away for the first 10 backers of the campaign. Then we got the 16-bit sprites here, the sprite art.
Wow.
We got the map. We got the sigils. We got some interior page art. We got yeah, we got the additional art. So this was back before I lost the ability to draw. I did some of my own sketches and drawings from like the 90s. So yeah, and as you can see here, there we go. We've got 2 full pages of contributing artists. So if you're a fan of any of the people listed here, their art is included in this mini art book. And again, just to reiterate, here's the free preview of book 3. You get a nice black and white book that it goes over some of the stuff that you'll see in book 3. Ultimately, depending on which edition on the campaign that wins, the book will either be in color or in black and white, and we can reorganize it so that it will, match the manga format, i.e., right to left, if the manga wins. But that's basically what we got going here. We got a little over a month left on the campaign, and we're already sitting pretty. Like, we already made it. So you know it's going to be made. The product's already there. We got a cool little movie trailer that talks about the stuff. But yeah, if you're a fan of like old school fantasy before dinner parties and proms were kind of the norm, or everything turned into romantasy or whatever, definitely check this out, because I started this as a barely literate 12-year-old who ended up geeking out in the library of Pelham, New Hampshire, and we've had over 30, I think it's like 35 years or however long it is, decades basically. It's my life work. And I mean, it's got the fantasy stuff, but there's actually a pretty strong like core story there that kind of transcends genre. But yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much Infinitale Chronicles and the campaign that I got moving forward.
Nice. Yeah, that looks pretty awesome. It's certainly a lot of stuff to add on to get more people to want to try to get into like the cards and whatnot. So it's pretty neat. So, costly though. I can't imagine the amount of costs that go on the back end.
Oh yeah, especially as hashtag just the writer.
Yeah.
Fortunately this one has taken about 4 years to get out, so I've been able to pace myself with my production budgets. And sadly, again, these are indie books. Like, I'm not expecting to even make a profit off this. I just want to mitigate the damage of my little passion project. How much, at least somewhat replenish my finances.
Yeah.
Again, we're just screaming apes in the dark. We all want to have our stories told. This one's mine.
Better build a big fire for that. Johnson, what are you doing with that fire over there? You saw nothing.
I like to burn stuff.
It's all right there. Look at that Sheila's on fire. Oh wow, she's crispy.
By crikey.
Oh, good lord. But no, that's pretty awesome that you over time you've been able to get this out, and that's what this has led to, and hopefully it succeeds well enough that you can get to that point of personal recognized success, because there's recognized success and there's personal recognized success, and I think that's more important, because success means a lot different to pretty much different people, and so if you live by someone else's definition of success, you'll never find your own, and that's the real kicker right there. But of course, again, like he said, there's links down below. You go there, find his stuff. There's a website. There's his Twitter X as well. Because I'm sure if you have a technical issue on the website, he'll probably tell you no. Why isn't Infinitale website working? Is your computer on at all?
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
He went back to the Irish. No. But yes, all this stuff is down below. So if he's worth a follow, why not? Right? If he's worth a follow, why not? But for my end of things, whether you're on Neuro, if you're still there, please bring up my stuff too. Whether you're on the Rumble side or whether on the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated, because not only does it help me being seen more, like all content creators want to be. I mean, like, seriously, we live in the time of content. The ocean of content is overbearing at times, it seems. And but anyway, it helps being seen more. It also helps having other people on like Chris and like Tomby, and like Lord of the Ria that was in chat earlier. So many different people. At the end of the day, I can proudly proclaim I have had on over 200 various guests, creator or not, over 200 and still climbing. I'm going to hope to get one day to 365 and said I'll do a whole year. I've done a whole year of people. That'll be a while though. Just actually that makes it sound dirty. But anyway, any help with the engagement factor, any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Cause I get people put out their follower numbers and all this stuff, but it's just like for me, the biggest number that's worth its weight in gold is how many people I've had on to conversate with, because isn't that amazing that you can reach across 200 various people across the internet and there's still more to say. Still more to say. Now I have to go and copy paste my my links because of the refresh I had to do earlier. Okay, here we go. But if you're also, I have a link down below. Oh, here we go. I have a link down below that will take you to my Twitter X, an email, and also my Discord. But it's mostly just for DMing because I don't run a server. I'm not interested in running a server. There's only so much mental bandwidth, basically, what I have. Yeah, we're kind of heading out. We're not there yet, but we're kind of heading out. How are you doing, Slinger? Slinger is a Canadian, but he enjoys our measurements. So I was talking about, because I've had him on, and I was talking about like difference of measurements between America and Canada. And he said, you know what, America's a little better. And I'm like, yes.
Oh, no kidding, eh?
Well, poor talking by me. Well, we still got a few more things to do. It's not like we're ending it right at this very second. You still got like you still got like 10, 15. Look at them, freedom units. That's right, freedom units.
Yeah.
Get those get Imperial out of the way and let's put freedom units in its place. There you go. But no, we're still gonna be going for like a little bit because I got a few things to go over. Oh, did I put my like, yes. Don't forget link right here for my stuff. And of course, like I said earlier, Merca. That's right, Merca. He's a Canadian. He's saying Merca like he's got some. All right.
Yeah.
Of course, hold on, I gotta get there. Copy paste. Love the always copy paste. But if you're, again, like I said, I'm part of the Proton Partner Program, and I use Proton email. If you don't know much about it, you can go check it out. They do offer a few things. One is an email alias, allowing you to use a mask so that to a company that if they start getting spammy, whatever, guess what? You can just delete that, and they won't even have access to your actual email because you have that in between. They also are pretty good about protecting or keeping out spam to your account. Now, maybe once the blue moon, something will sneak through, but at the end of the day, guess what? It's rare. It's rare. And again, there is a free account and a paid account. Paid account, you could do more, but free account can be quite helpful to some who just can't pay the like yearly or whatever. Because I pay $48 a year for their they have like a Proton Unlimited thing, which involves all their stuff, like the VPN, the drive, their password keys, all that stuff. But yeah, that's just me. But doing the email stuff is a lot cheaper and a lot easier for you to go for the paid route. But again, links down below. Give it a look. I promote it because I use it. I believe it's a benefit for all. But it's up to you to look into further if you want to use it. So the choice is yours. Beyond that, though, also doing stuff. Well, hello there, Slinger. Nice to see you. Proton is sick. Yes, it is sick. And not this. He's not talking sick like, oh, it's got a cough. No, he's talking sick like it's sick. Like rad. There you go. Love their stuff. There you go. See? There you go. And the last thing I have is right now for until the 25th, I am running nope, this isn't the place to get it. For right now, till the 25th, I am running a survey on Rumble side of things, and the question of the month is on support. So if you've had to dealing with Rumble support in any face or fashion, your help is immeasurable, because again, I collect this feedback data to put out there in a sort of visual, sort of like transparency sort of thing, to show people that maybe they're not, as crazy as they think they are. But it all depends on people willing to give some of their time and just less than a minute to take the survey and be honest about it, about their experience, because it helps. I know it helps. So, regardless, there's a link to it in the chat, and I hope you'll at least give it a look if you use the Rumble platform. But beyond that scope, I don't have anyone tomorrow, but on Sunday I do have a guest, so I will be setting that up early sometime tomorrow. But beyond that point, the last thing I do with my guest is called Questions from a Hat. So what happened is I bought a hat from Rumble, and I've put some questions into it. So what happens is that you, my guest, get 2 freebie questions from the hat. However, if people want to pay for more than the 2 we pulled out, then they have to give a Rumble rant. I'm not monetizing YouTube. Sorry, but I'm just not there yet. Don't know if I'll ever be, but it is what it is. But I am on Rumble, so if you want more than the 2 questions pulled out, you have to give a Rumble rant. Doesn't matter the amount. I don't care. I'm not that stingy. So here's the first question. I gotta open it up because post's not right. It is, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be with and why?
Dinner with a historical figure. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good question, because like something I never really thought about, because eating with somebody that's like famous or historical. Well, it definitely wouldn't be Jeffrey Dahmer.
You would be the meal.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. Maybe Oppenheimer. The guy that created the atom bomb.
It wasn't just him though. So
it was a team of But like, I would definitely be asking him questions about, did he ever think it would be like? Did he ever think the magnitude would be as big as it was? Because once that bomb blew up, once they saw that test bombing, and I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about like the reality of it. The I am become death. Destroyer of worlds. Like that changed warfare forever. I mean, that was like when the advent of gunpowder came in, and people no longer, the strong people with the swords and the spears were no longer the deciding factor of who wins. It's now literally, it's led to mutually assured destruction, where everybody has been kind of kept in place by the fear of nuclear fallout. And it's like, you can't steal from your enemy if you nuke them, because there's nothing there to steal anymore. So it would be an interesting conversation to have. And it's like, really, you'd like to have that while you eat? And it's like, yeah, because like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't care where I am, but I'd like to pick their brains on something like that. And if I happen to be sitting down eating, stuffing my fat face full of food while somebody's telling me how they created the ultimate genocide machine, yeah, I'd want to know. I'd want to know, like how they felt after that. I would imagine that's going to be a major, I can't really use the words for, but it'd be a major cerebral sodomy. Like, wow,
a major butt sort of thing.
Yeah.
I won't want to say the full word on that one, but it's not pretty. Well, I forgot though that Lord of the Rings gave 2 Rumble rants earlier, so that means you get 4 total, because I do count those. Yes. So we're on question number 2, and the question number 2 is, what's a skill you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Music.
Man,
any kind, like I can do arrangements. I can do like I did the music in my trailer. I can do compositions of other people's music. But the concept of creating music from an instrument is so esoteric and so beyond my scope. It's disturbing. It's like, how does somebody not know how to play even a rudimentary instrument? And I would love to be able to play a piano, play a guitar, something,
You'll be the piano man soon enough.
Yeah.
But no, and it's understandable. So, but yeah, believe me, when I've asked that question before, you're not the only one who's answered with musical instrument.
Yeah.
What's the most useless superpower you can think of?
The most useless superpower. Well, if we're going from like Mystery Men, it would be the invisible boy that's only invisible when nobody's looking at him.
Yeah. He proved himself, though. He did prove himself.
Yeah, with a surveillance camera. Yeah, that's
interesting. Yeah, that was. Look, guys, I'm invisible. Oh, get some clothes on there.
He's in his birthday suit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And that was Kel of all people. Kel.
Yep. Welcome to Good Burger.
Well, he certainly proved his good burger that day. But here's question number. Let's see. Yeah, that's 3 questions. All right. Here's question number 4, and this will be the last question, unless someone gives a wrong way. What sound do you hate to hear?
Okay. List of annoying sounds. I don't like baby crying, and I know that's a weird thing to say, but like dog barking and baby crying, those are my tied for the most annoying noises when they're left unchecked. And the only reason why I say that is because I was on a flight from LAX to Sydney, Australia, and somebody thought it would be a good idea to bring their infant on board.
Oh,
yeah, like 18 hours of that is. I'm sure Dante Alighieri wrote one of those circles of hell. It's just like, and it's like right next to me. Like I couldn't. It's like, why don't we have like special like chambers or something in the airplane if you're going international flights and you're bringing a kid whose ears pop? It's like it's not my kid. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the funny thing too, is because that's what most some adults sound like is.
Yeah.
I get it. You're disappointed in not seeing the movie, Johnson, but unfortunately, you got to get back to work. You'd rather see me dead than actually have something worth fulfilling. I'd actually like to see you do some work for once, and then you might be fulfilled. But yes, that is goodness, man. Some of the questions do stump people up. That's I was told once they're not intrusive enough. I'm like, but you really had your own trouble answering them. But anyway.
Seemed challenging to me.
Let me remind you, Clarice, of how good this question will be. Chapter 1. Can you answer this question? Where are the brains, Clarice? Where are the brains?
How do you make the lambs go silent, Clarice?
Turn them into lamb chops. But again, that is, like I said before, that is the end of the show. And of course, links and stuff down below. Thank you all so much for being here, especially in the chat. Glad to always see at least somebody in there because, never know. But of course, I want to thank my guest, Chris Fisk. Which is
thanks for having me.
Sounds going to start sounding like a rap rhyme. And then the Chris Fisk, but the Chris Fisk, if the Fisk. You got the frisk in the fisk. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, sounds like Swiss Miss.
I don't go to that point either. But no, yeah, and like I've told all of my other guests too, is like you're always welcome to come back and
thanks, man.
Stuff because it never stops with one conversation,
Mm.
But yeah, it is quite busy. It does get quite busy, but I'm glad to do it. Reasons stated. So, but anyway. Ooh, man, swallowed my spit the wrong way. But anyway, I end the show with One Day With You by Pogo. Again, guys, I'm gonna have a net on Sunday. It's the only day that kind of worked for her, so look out for that. But other than that, go out, enjoy your weekend, and remember, start somewhere. Anywhere is better than nowhere. Oops, I went a little far. All right, there we go. See you next time, guys. Bye.